right. Hello. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Diana. Thank you so much for quick response.
No, I was fine. I was teaching all morning and I finished and I signed off. Oh my gosh, check some email. I'm like, oh no, someone who doesn't know how to get here.
Uh,
I sent it to you, but I'm so glad. Um, One thing, I don't know if you got to read everything, but I said people have to come in staged ways. And a lot of my students are past students. So we might not have many students at the beginning. So it's great that I got you a time that you are here so I can
yeah,
help you figure out that whole part of it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
thank you. Thank you.
Um, so I'm let me just check for a second.
Yeah, take your time. I won't
So
just.
there are a couple more new students and they should be signing in. I just want to make sure that I got the link right that I sent this morning, just in case. Did you use my link or the one that Emma sent you?
Your link.
My link. Okay, so it should work.
Mhm.
And let me see, just to make sure
Yeah.
that I got the right one here. Because I just got back from a trip and I was so jet lagged that I might, when I gave them at the morning, I give them the email. You'll see that in each morning of class, I send an email with a reminder. Just make sure I sent the right one out. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. That's all I needed to check. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so welcome. And the first few things that we do at the beginning of class before we start with Photoshop is setting up how the class works and how I set it up. Have you taken any Photoshop classes before?
Oh, many years ago. Uh,
Many.
yeah, and I understand it's just totally new program right now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And after years and years of it being incrementally different, now it's just changing. It seems like by the minute, Photoshop keeps like adding in there. So hi, Colette.
Hi,
Nice
how
to
are
meet
you?
you. I'm Deanna. This is Julia. Oh, by the way, Julia, do you know how to change your name in Zoom at all?
Yes, yes. You want
Okay,
me to
can
put
you add your last name to that, please?
Yeah.
The idea, because otherwise I can do it for people, but I'd rather teach people how to do it themselves. Um, I need both first and last name because then that's how I do attendance based on the full name of who people are here. And sometimes people have a different first name, like like my husband is officially a Harold, but everyone calls him Jack. So if you just wrote Jack, then later I would look in the roster and I wouldn't find him, right? So first and last name works well. So, hi Colette.
Hi,
You're new
how's it
to me
going?
too, right? I haven't met you before.
No,
Oh,
this is my first time in.
that's
Um,
wonderful. I love
yeah,
having new students. You'll see that a lot of the students that come back are people who've taken my classes before. So I always love to see new blood. Oh, that sounded like I'm a vampire. I didn't mean it
yeah, I'm
that way.
sure. No, there's the
I meant like I like having.
there's so much to learn here.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were just saying with Julia. It's just kind of never ending. I am going to sign in on my other computer for a second because what I do is I have this one for Photoshop and this one for Zoom. So give me a second with that. So I
While
just
you're doing that, may I ask a question?
definitely.
Is there any advantage or disadvantage to my trying to be on Zoom in my iPad and using my computer? Does then it not allow you screen access?
Actually, in fact, it's a great question, and that's one of those things that I'm going to address right now. But let me finish signing myself
All right.
in. So now we have a new student, but it's me again on my other computer. So give me a second there. Um, yeah, because what I was just telling Julia is that this is the time when I am handling these kind of questions. It's all about Zoom and stuff like that, and then we'll start with Photoshop, and I'll introduce myself and everything. But right now, so the best way, in fact, to join the class is if you do have another device, is to be here twice. You know how I'm here twice? you'll see that some other students who've been here for a while, they'll have an iPad and a Mac, but it's not either or, rather it's both. So what happens is that if you have an old laptop, some other laptop in your house, an iPad, some other device, sorry, that little gnat I got it. Little gnat was in my way. If you have another device, then that doesn't work so much because, sorry, if you have a phone as your other device, it doesn't work so much because it's too tiny to see what I'm clicking on, to see. But if you have an iPad or another laptop signed in at the same time, then you can watch me on that one, like TV, so to say, and then you do the work on your other device. Now, why I need you connected twice is because this is a very hands-on class. So if I demo something and you're doing it and then you run into trouble and you can't figure it out and I can't figure out from your description how to help you, then I'll go share your screen and I'll be teaching you all how to share your screen. And then I look at it and go, oh, and then you do it and then you stop sharing your screen. That's why the one that you work on also needs to be on Zoom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then it's the easiest way. So if you have that set up, then go ahead and click on the link on both and come in twice. And then Julia, do you have something else at home that you could do that set
Yeah,
up?
I actually was going to do the same thing. Yeah, I have 2 laptops and I'm going.
Okay, so go and grab that, set yourself up, and then we'll keep going. That's part of this first part is it's so much easier because otherwise you have to have me on Zoom and a little piece of your screen, and then you do Photoshop on the other half of the screen, and then it's like, Zoom disappears and Photoshop appears. That's the best
Exactly.
way. So I'll give you guys a minute or two, whatever you need to set that up. Once you're both up, then we will continue.
Okie dokie.
And Julia, you're coming in right now. Yay. Okay, now hold on. I forgot to say. Would have asked you to connect to sound on the second one, you should say no, because then you don't have the reverb. So Colette, if you haven't yet, when you connect on your second one, it'll say, you want to connect to sound, and you should say no on that one. So I'm going to admit you. But now let me help you, Julia. Is your second one, is it a laptop also?
Yes.
Or- Okay, so then that's easy. Go to where you usually mute and unmute yourself to the audio button and see how right next to it, there's a teensy little like triangle going up. Click on that. And the second choice from the bottom up is leave computer audio. So go ahead and leave computer audio on your second device. So,
please tell me again where to click.
okay. So go to the audio button where you mute and unmute yourself.
Yeah,
And there's like a tiny, just to the right, there's a little like
3 dots.
click on that one and a
Yeah.
menu comes up. And
Okay.
from the bottom up, it says audio settings, and then one up, it says leave computer audio. I think we might be looking at a different thing.
Yeah, I think so. I'm clicking on those 3 dots. And
No,
it's
not the 3 dots. On the left, do you know how to mute, the audio?
I usually do it through the, where you have the menu on the right of
Okay,
the picture.
so that, I see what you mean. But technically, like if you were to try to open the sound on the second computer, where would,
I
there,
think I figured out.
you just did it. Okay, so right next to that, perfect. You got it. And now the second one has no sound. Okay, you're good. Otherwise, we get this reverb. So yeah, otherwise, instead of having to do it after, next time we do this, next Thursday, when you connect with the second one, it'll say connect with audio and you go, no, no, no. And it'll go, really? You're like, no. Are you sure? No. Like you're gonna have to say no 2 or 3 times. Then it lets you connect with that audio because it thinks it's really strange, but that's the way to go. And then otherwise you have to go and do this, which is just disconnect, which isn't so complicated, but it's better to just not connect from the start.
Yeah.
So now, good. So now we're all set up with 2 setups. Good. So in one you just watch me, and in the other one you have it Zoom also, but you can minimize it. So all you have is Photoshop. And then whenever you do need to share your screen, then you can use it. So that's actually the second part of what we're going to do now. But first, let me go through some of the more basics, which is when everyone comes, it's a relatively small class. I have 23 people signed up actually right now with Julia, but there's like 7 or 8 that'll come and go because it's summer and they'll be one day, they won't be another day. So it's not going to be a very huge class, which is really good. My summer classes is when you get more one-on-one with me because people are coming and going. But still, it gets to be that when I talk to people, I need individual responses, but in the group. So what happens is that I will be demoing something, I'll do it, and then I'll say, okay, you guys do it, and then you do it, and then I'll say, okay, if that worked and it worked fine and all is good, then give me a yes. And if it didn't work or you need help, give me a no. So what do I mean by that? In those buttons, there's an area that has a little heart that says react. Do you see that one? When you click on that one, there's lots of little emojis come up. And those are all fun, but they disappear. Exactly. Once those thumbs disappear, they're gone. So if I'm looking at 20 people, I can't tell if they got it or didn't get it. So the only ones that stay are kind of midway down. There's a green check mark, and that kind of means yes. And then there's a red X, and that means no. So say that you didn't figure it out or you're having trouble, you say no, other people say yes. And so then I go, okay, so Colette, how can I help you? What's happening? Or Julia, how can I help you? Does that make sense? And the thing is that when I say, okay, everyone give me a yes or give me a no, everyone has to say yes or no. A lot of people are like, well, of course I know that. I don't need to say yes, but I don't know that you know that and that you did it. So if I say, okay, is that a yes or a no? Everyone just answer yes or no. And then that's the way the class moves fastest because then I can focus on people who need a hand. I give a hand and then we move on. Does that make sense? Now, if you click on it again, it goes away. So you might have thought that you answered, but I don't see it. And it's because maybe you clicked on it twice, right? So clicking on it twice turns it on and off. Now, the next thing that we use, so we use this a lot. And then when I share my screen, and I'm sharing my screen, this is in a different place. So I'm going to share my screen in practice, but there's a few more buttons we need to go through. And then I need you to find them there again. But sometimes it won't be yes or no, but sometimes it'll be like, okay, if you're a Mac, give me a yes. If you're on a PC, give me a no. So it's just my way of kind of using those two to divide the group into different things, okay? The next thing is the raise hand. So if you see the raise hand button, it's kind of long and it's underneath the green and the red marks. It's like the little long one. Go ahead and raise your hand. All right. So when you raise your hands, the first one who raised it moved up to the top left, which was Julia. Now she lowered her hand, so she disappeared from the line, and now Colette is in the top left, and now Julia is second. So basically what happens is that if I have, a bunch of people and you have a question, whoever raises their hand goes up to the top. And if I have 3 people with questions, they are next. So I start answering by the top left. So I'll go, okay, Colette, you were the first one. What's your question? And then so go ahead and raise your hands again because you'll see something. And you raise your hand. And then when you ask your question, we talked about it and it's done. Either I can lower your hand or you can lower your hand, which is great, except for sometimes we both do it. So go ahead, Colette, lower your hand. And I lowered it too. Oh, now it's kind of a bit more fail-safe because it used to be that you had to, okay, actually it's kind of good. They changed the button. It used to say lower hand. It's a raise hand and it didn't change. Now it says lower. That's good. But sometimes you might not notice that it changed to lower and you might raise it again. So sometimes if we both do it, I see your hand up again and then I'll go, so Julia, is that a new hand or is it a new, I mean, is it the old hand or is it the new question? Because we might not have noticed that we both did it at the same time and then you're up again. So if you can lower it, fine. But if you don't lower it, some people are working on stuff and I know the question is over, I'll lower it. So if you see your hand is down, it's because the question has been answered, right? And then we just kind of move on. All right. So that's that's the thing. If I'm talking, explaining something, and you just have can you say that again? Of course, just speak up and ask me. It's like, did you say the red one or the right one or whatever? Like, but if I'm talking about, selections and you suddenly have a question about hue saturation, there's two things you can do. A, you can raise your hand if it's related to the question. Of course, when I'm done, you'll say, "Oh, well, what if?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's great." But sometimes it's completely unrelated and it's something that you're like, "Oh, I was thinking about this yesterday, and now I need to ask." So then you can put it in the chat. So, and another thing we need to do with the chat is that we need to kind of sign in. So when you get into the class, the first thing we all want everyone to do is give a little hey ho, I'm here, hello, hi, just anything. It doesn't need to be very complicated. Sometimes you have a whole question of something. Oh, I tried to do this week and I have a question. And other times it's like, oh, I'm here, whatever. Just helps me again with attendance issues to have you on the chat. But then whenever you're like, well, for example, you had that question about two displays. It was the perfect time to ask, so I dealt with it. But what if you had only had that thought in the middle of me seeing something else? You can write it in the chat, and then when I'm done, I'll look at it and I'll go, oh, and so to your question, here it is. Also, try to write to everyone like you did here. If you have a headache, a plumber's arrived or something, and you want to let me know that you're welcome to change that and say to me, and only I will see your message. But if the question is, my selection, da 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 da, then ask it to everyone so that everyone knows what's happening. And when I answer the question, they know what question I'm answering because they also saw the question. Does that make sense? So personal, private issues, fine. Tell it to me, but everything else, many times people think it's personal. It's not working for me. Well, that's not personal. That's a class question because if it's not working for you, I assure you it's probably not working for three others, right? And so then that's something that I deal with in general. Plus, I'll have to answer in public, right? So it's better that everyone sees the question in public. All right. So that's the main Zoom things. The next Zoom thing is how to share your screen. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen for a second here. And right now I have nothing on my screen, so all you're going to see is some trees from the background. But when I'm sharing my screen right now, if I were to say, are you on a Mac on a PC? Give me a yes if you're on a Mac and a no if you're on a PC. Go ahead, see if you can go find the buttons again for saying yes and no. Okay, great. And Julia is on a PC. And Colette is on a PC too. Two of you guys are on a PC.
Sorry, no, wrong
Oh,
question, but
you're on a Mac, so then you'd be a yes. Okay. Yeah, and it's typical, and I'll repeat it enough times that it kind of gets. So there you go. You were able to find it. Great. Because sometimes it changes. And now what if you were to write a chat right now? Can you see the chat too? If you want to ask a question while I'm sharing? All right. So if so, go ahead and say again, hello, or next question, or I can see it. Just say something, just write it in there. Because when I'm sharing, even you seeing the chat appears in a different place, right? So for you, Colette just wrote something, or Julia just wrote something, and you might even be seeing it a different place than you saw it before. Now I'm going to stop my share. The chat, you don't need to have it open all the time. Because if you click on the chat button, it kind of opens up and occupies screen space. That's kind of unnecessary. Although, oh no, now that I think about it, if you guys are watching me on a different computer, you might want to open your chat on that one, because then you can leave it open and you can see people's questions. That's true. But don't open it on the one that we're working on. That way it doesn't occupy unnecessary space. Okay, good. So now the next question is, have you ever shared your screen before? And do you know how to share it? Oh, and what I do is when I have questions, if this were 20 people, I would be clearing their feedback to let them say yes or no again. But it's just two of us, so we can just speak now. Have you shared your screen before?
I
Colette?
did. Oh, sorry.
You have, but you need a refresher, okay? And then Julia, yeah? Now,
Yeah.
and it's okay, by the way, whenever I ask, oh, one more thing. This is a perfect example. It's not only the perfect answer, but it is preferred for you to say, no, I don't, or it's not working, than for you to stay quiet. And I'm not addressing either one of you in particular, but the whole class. I don't know if you've taken classes before, but a lot of the times I hear people, drone and then the class has to catch up. I'm not that way. I want everyone to do what I'm teaching and to get it done. So if you don't tell me you're in trouble, then I can't help you. So when I say yes or no, don't just go, "Oh, I don't want to interrupt the class, so I'm going to say yes." No, 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 no. That's the time to say no, because if I address the issue the moment I just dealt with it or taught it, it takes me 2 seconds. If instead 10 minutes later you haven't been able to keep working because that never got dealt with, then it's a 10-minute correction. Does that make sense? Or worst case scenario, which I would hate, is, oh, well, she moved on and I'm just not going to come to class anymore. That would be absolutely the worst thing. I am known for that. Like my patience, first of all, never wears thin. So you can ask me whatever and I'll always be able to answer. And second, when you ask a question, 20 other people are listening and 5 others had the same question and the others are learning even if they didn't think of that question, right? So even if you think it's an issue for yourself only, you'll see how it works. It helps everyone to ask. And people who thought they got it right, they see how I help you and they go, oh, I thought I had it right, but actually that's better. So then they do it again. So every question helps the class. Trust me. Trust me on that one. Every now and then there's someone who has something completely off, and then I'll just redirect it and I'll say, okay, you can ask me after break or something like that. But if I deal with the question, it's because it's appropriate to the moment and it's something that I know many others could learn from. All right. Let's practice sharing your screen. And it's all because a lot of time people go, oh, sharing your screen. I don't want to share my screen. It's okay. Go on. I hear that all the time. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Sharing your screen helps. Seeing the thing for others and seeing me help you is actually takes 2 seconds. And in the 2 seconds of sharing, everyone else got something and then we move on. All right. So let's practice first. Who wants to go first? Colette. All right. So do you see near the chat button and the reaction button, the share button?
Yep.
Okay. Let me just say, you're a Mac person. If you've never shared the screen before, we have to do a lot of permissions things first. So it kind of seems complicated, but it's a once and done.
Okay.
PC, on the other hand, doesn't have permissions. So for you, it'll be a once and done. It doesn't run through that. All right. So Colette, click on the share button. And once that's done, now you see another screen and the bottom, there's a blue share button with white letters. Click on that one.
Got it.
Okay. So if this were a PC, we would be seeing your screen. But since it's a Mac, we first need to change its permissions. So you now have a message of something about system settings, right?
Yep.
Okay. Say okay or continue or yes to whatever the way it's displayed. And now when you have the system settings in front of you, let me know.
Yes, I have it in front of me.
Got it. Okay. So now there's like 2 columns. There's stuff on the left, on the right. On the right side of it, look for the word Zoom somewhere.
I got it.
Okay. On the right side of that, there's a little slider that's gray. Click on it to turn it blue.
Got
And then
it.
it'll ask you for your password.
Yep.
Put in your password, the one that the computer used to turn on your computer.
So I need to quit and reopen
Nope. Say later.
later. Okay.
Just
Got it.
quit and say later. Okay, good. All
Done.
set up. Now you can close that. You can go back to Zoom. And now again, share and then share again. And we should see your screen.
Okay, so. Okay. Am I? Okay,
So the green share button.
there we are. No, that's Photoshop.
I know.
Lost my, oh, there we go. I lost where Zoom was.
I know
Okay.
it's everywhere, right? Okay, so the green share button first.
Okay, hold
Good.
on. Sorry.
No problem.
Zoom, share, and then this
The
share
second
button.
share button at the bottom, and boom, there you go.
Here we
Now
go.
that one, say allow. Cool. And now you can close this email. Perfect. And you can close that too. And by the way, since you're sharing your screen and we're gonna get into Photoshop, I just want to warn you that you have a lot of different things open in the bottom. And partly it becomes a bit, I mean, if you have a fast computer, that's fine. But you might want to close things that you're not using, like you can right click and quit, like the calendar
Yep.
or Safari or stuff like that. I mean, you don't have to, but it might help if there's windows opening that are complicated, just
Yep.
right click and quit. Basically anything except for Zoom, and then later anything except for Photoshop, right? So, okay, perfect. So I'm going to stop your share. And while you're doing that, now let's go to Julia.
I'm sorry, one quick question.
Yeah.
While I was shared, my screen basically disappeared.
What
I
screen?
couldn't find it down at the bottom, my Zoom.
Your Zoom?
Yeah,
Okay, so in the dock, you see how in the dock you have a Z, you have the Zoom icon?
yeah,
So if you ever don't see Zoom, and when you share, yeah, Zoom disappears because we're seeing your screen and you don't need to
okay.
see Zoom.
Oh,
You
I
can
see.
show Photoshop. But when,
Understood.
but if you ever lose Zoom at some point and you're looking for it and can't find it, then if you go to the dock, you can right click. Do you know how to right click on do you have a mouse or a touchpad?
Touchpad.
Okay,
I need
two
to get a
fingers
mouse.
down is a right click. So do two fingers down and then you can say show all windows and then Zoom pops up in front of whatever else is there if you ever lose it.
Okay,
Okay, great.
okay.
But for the
Two
most part,
fingers.
two fingers down is a right click. We're going to be using the right click a lot in Photoshop. So for people who don't have an actual right click on a touchpad, it's two fingers down. Now I am going to recommend, if you're really going to get into this whole Photoshop thing, I am going to recommend getting a mouse or another thing that I have here that I do myself as a designer is I have a stylus. It's a pen that is in the place of a mouse, and then that helps a lot to be accurate with selections and things like that. But that's, in the future if you find that Photoshop is your deal. But otherwise, with finger pads are getting much better and they're pretty accurate, but it isn't the best for real accurate stuff. So just to consider thinking about that. Julia. All right. Do you see the green share
Yeah.
button?
So
Okay.
I'm sharing the computer which I'm going to work on, right?
The
Not-
one that you're going to work with Photoshop, not the one that you're watching me on. Because if you're working in Photoshop and you have a problem, I need to have that one be the one that shares the screen, right? So I can see how to help you.
Yep.
There you go. Click and click. Perfect. We're seeing your screen. So there you go. See, on the PC, it's pretty quick. On the
Mhm.
Mac, you first need to do that. But from now on, it'll be just that. Click and click. Two shares. Share and share, and life is good. All right, good. So you both are ready to go with sharing your screen. And again, I need to say, whenever I say you have a problem and you explain it to me, and I can't figure out exactly what you mean, because sometimes you know what the problem is and we can talk about it. But sometimes it's just not working and you don't know why. And then the only way is to share your screen. So when I say share your screen, now you guys know it's click and click. It's 2 seconds. And then immediately I look at it from years of teaching. I go, oh, well, this thing is off or this thing is on. You fix it and we go on. So it's like in real life, I walk behind your screen and I figure it out. But here I need you guys to share. So never hesitate to share, please. When I say share, just it's because it's the best way to go.
So
All right.
Diana, did you close my screen? Did
Yes,
you?
I
Oh,
closed
okay.
your
So
screen.
you have ability to do
I
that.
saw it, all good, I closed it, because right now there's nothing to see. It was just the practice.
Yeah.
You can also be done when you're closing your screen, but for the most part, sometimes when your screen is up and we're learning something, you might think you're done with a question, but I might see something and I'm gonna go, hold on a minute, see this, like I might tell you about something else, or I might use yours as a demo. Sometimes you're showing something that's really cool and I'm like, oh, hold on a minute. Hey guys, see what this is. So don't necessarily close the screen just because you think the question got answered, because I might be like, no, wait, I wanted to show something. Right? And then you had to show again. Because everyone's setup is different. And sometimes what you have to show is exactly right for someone else. Or I have a Mac, which
Chuck Bailey.
hold on, my husband, 1 second. Sweetie, I'm still teaching.
Hello?
Hey, I'm still teaching. I'm going to be teaching till my 5 p.m. Okay, bye.
Cleveland, I made it
Okay.
tight.
All right, bye. The only reason I answered, which I never do, but there's a long story. You'll find out everything I did this summer. But this is I just got home basically last night, and my husband had to tell me that he was safe, and I didn't want to ignore the call, and he would have thought something was wrong and would have kept calling. Normally, I do not answer the phone. but he just arrived and his schedule is off, so he's not aware that, he's 3 hours off, that I'm still in class. Anyway, so that was just a I'm here, I'm alive, made it kind of call. He's crossing the country on his bike. And
Wow.
yeah, it's been cool. And I was just with him, and I just did 2 weeks up from all northern New York. And I just arrived yesterday, and then he just made it to a different place, and we told each other we'd let each other know when we got there. So yay, he's alive.
Okay.
I'm alive. Life is good. So we have let me look at the time. 2:01. What was the time that I told people before I move on to something else?
Mhm.
Hold on, here's the email. Oh, I sent it to you, but I don't remember.
You said
I s-
1:45 p.m. if people needed the VDI instructions.
Okay. So 2:40. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is 1:45? 2.
Mhm. And then you said 2:30
Oh,
for
it's down there for everyone else. Okay. So it's just that I'm still completely, my brain is just like, so 1:30 to start, 1:45, and 2:30. Okay. Given that a lot of the students, and I should have looked at my roster, and since I sent this out, other than to Julia, I sent this out last week. I wasn't aware that a lot of people are repeats, so we might not have that many new people for quite a while, in which case probably 2:30 is a bit late, but never mind. We have a lot of other stuff to go through, so that's fine. So the next thing that we're gonna do is talk about, how are we gonna get to Photoshop? Well, first of all, have you ever done any work in Photoshop? I think, Julia, you said, well, no, my question to you was wrong. I had said, did you ever take a class? But you might have not taken a class, but kept working on it. So what's your experience at all with Photoshop, Julia?
Well, I'm familiar with layers, with filters. Let's see.
Do you use it a lot? Do you never
Right.
use it? Do you use it occasionally?
Oh, well, I used it for a while. Part of it was for my work, but last several years I haven't been using it and at all. So, and I don't have it. So I'm looking for, you say we have an option using
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna help you with next. But just to know, because there was gonna be some people who have never used Photoshop or in class, and other people who've been using it, nonstop for 20 years. And the way I teach, everyone gets something out of it, but I'm just kind of trying to get an idea of your guys's expertise or none thereof. It's okay, just to know. So you were comfortable with it at one point, or you were kind of using it at one point?
I was somewhat comfortable. I didn't never really learned deep all the features, but I was able to select, combine scenes, just basic scenes.
Okay.
And it's an
Great.
old interface. So yeah, I
So
would like to learn the new one.
that's good. That's really good because a lot of the basics, what all these programs have changed so much, but guess what? They keep grandfathering in the old stuff. So if you know what you knew how to do is probably still doable. You know what I mean? Like that is not changed. It's just that they keep adding and adding and adding. But if you were to try to do what you used to do before, you can probably still do it almost the same way. Not all of it, almost the same way. All right, Colette, how about you? What's your
Yeah, I have some good experience within design. So I understand like some of the language because I used that kind of extensively to make programs and like programs for posters and
Oh, okay.
cards and that sort of thing. So I understand those tools. I am a complete beginner in Photoshop.
That's great. How about Illustrator?
I have not, well, not Illustrator. I played around a little bit on my iPad with, what was the drawing? Was it Fresco or?
Oh, yeah, yeah, Fresco.
Yeah, but I don't have those tools anymore. And I just,
Oh, that's
I
great.
got a little frustrated because and I also, I tried to take a couple of Photoshop tutorials and it was like, wait, what do you mean? I'm not, and then I just thought, no, let's just take a class and learn it.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that because that's probably the main reason I say stop and ask or say yes or no, because if not, it might as well be a tutorial, right?
Right.
Tutorial keeps going and going and you can't
Right.
stop it, right? But also, yes, what I find is that there's a lot of things happening to Photoshop all the time. And I know Photoshop so well that I can do tutorials and totally know what they're talking about and learn it. But people who are beginners can't, a tutorial makes these assumptions and goes fast and you have to stop and start. And like, where did you find that? So tutorials, unless they're
exactly.
made for the level that you are at, and it's hard because if I try to teach something, I need to listen to what's on the other side. If it's a professional, I will teach it in one way. And if it's a beginner, I'll teach it a different way. And tutorials go one way, right? So, yeah, so it's great that you're here. And that doesn't mean that it's not good to additionally then work out with some tutorials. We have some we have a connection through City College to LinkedIn Learning, and they have some great stuff going. So once you've done, a lot of this, then you can keep asking more specific questions. Well, what if I want to do this? And right, and then get the little tutorial for that. But yeah, the main stuff, it's better to have someone who you can go back and forth with.
Yeah, I self-taught in LinkedIn based on like somebody had created something and I went in and started trying to use that. And it took me, a couple of years before I was really understanding like, oh, it does this too and this
It
too.
does that,
So,
yeah. Well, you are unique. And tell me, I've been teaching this I can't tell you how many years. And most people start with Photoshop and or with Illustrator, or first with Photoshop, then move on to Illustrator. And very few know InDesign because I teach all three of them. And you're the first person I know who knows InDesign be above and beyond Photoshop and Illustrator. I next week my digital design techniques class starts and my Illustrator class starts. And whenever I ask, everyone's like in Photoshop, oh yeah, I've done some Photoshop. Okay, 10 hands go up. Oh, I've done Illustrator, 5 hands go up. Who's done InDesign? 0.
nobody.
1 hand goes up. So you're pretty unique. All right. So that's great. But you definitely have an idea of this whole, graphics vocabulary. Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
So neither one of you has Photoshop though, or do you call it?
I do.
You
Yeah.
have because you have
Yeah.
the whole
I
setup.
have the whole suite now.
Do
Yeah.
you pay for it on a personal level or as
No,
a
I actually bought it through the school. I had been
okay,
paying
great.
for it. I stopped paying for it for a
Then you
while.
bought
I
it.
wasn't, and now great deal.
Great. If you did that, then yeah, because it's a great deal. So then
Yeah.
you're fine. So then let me help you, Julia. Um, two choices. A, you can spend nothing, no money, and use VDI. And I'll show you how to do that if that's your choice. And if you don't have it today, you're going to have to use VDI today anyway, because you don't have Photoshop today and you can't get it in a few minutes. You could if you pay the full price, but since you're paying student price, it's going to take like a week if you choose to buy it. So I'm going to show you VDI anyway. But VDI is awesome because you can use the entire Creative Cloud for free, which is incredible. But it is a bit quirky and it might try your patience, but if you work with me, I'll help you. It's not seamless. And some things in the newest, sorry, I was bit by mosquitoes camping and I keep scratching. I'm not, it's like I apologize for that, but I'm looking at myself like attacking myself. I'm having such a hard time with my bites, but anyway, and then but if that's what you want to do, don't worry, I'll work on it. People who finally figure it out, they stay on VDI and they never buy it. But you need to upload it through Google and your photos is different, or you can purchase it. If you choose to purchase it, it's either $50 for a 6-month subscription or $100 for a year subscription for the entire cloud, Creative Cloud. Creative Cloud is a bunch of programs. Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere. I mean, it's like 20 different programs. So it's not just Photoshop. So you're getting a lot more. If you don't want any of that lot more, then without the student price, if you just want Photoshop and Lightroom, then you can go and get it's $10 a month. The thing is that the $10 a month turns out to be 120 a year. So for 100 a year, you can get all of it if you get the student price. So it's, your choice. But let me warn you, it's not for the faint of heart. You need to have a good enough computer to run Photoshop and all these programs because they're getting really, really powerful. So if you choose to buy it, I can show you how to buy it. And you still need to use VDI today for the class because you will not have it ready until next week. Or you can use VDI directly. So what's your choice? And I'll move on with that.
Well, let's use VDI for now, and I'll see. Yeah, I don't mind buying it. I just not using it very often,
Mhm. Okay.
But with VDI, you can do work and upload it to your computer again, right? It's just the same.
Yeah, you'll have to go through Google Drive. So do you know how to use Google Drive? I mean, I'm going to show you now how to get to Google Drive anyway. I'm going to show everyone because that's where the class files are and the class handouts are. But you can't work directly on your computer. When you use VDI, you're in a virtual computer. You're basically as if you had walked into the school and opened a computer at school. So your stuff is not on that computer. And if you download it there, you leave it in that computer. Even though you're seeing it here, it's not connected to your computer. So the way to do that is to upload it to the school's Google Drive and then download it from the school's Google Drive into your computer. So it's possible. It's just a workaround. Okay. So are you comfortable with like file management and things like that? Or are you like a beginner with computers or are you comfortable with computers?
No, I have experience.
Okay, because if people who are newish to computers, VDI can get pretty complicated. But if you can handle a computer, then VDI should be fine. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you all how to get to the school account and how to get into the Google Drive and all of that so that you can get the class handouts and all of that. And once you know how to do that, then I will get you onto VDI. Well, actually, I should probably get you onto VDI first because people might join us after and they need to get to the class handouts anyway. So I'm going to show you VDI first. So Colette, if you want to kind of tune out a little bit, that's fine. Or if you want to watch anyway, because hey, you can get to any other application that City College has, you're welcome. So Julia, the easiest way to do this is for you to share your screen and I prompt you through it. Because Julia, by the way, because Colette got the message, I explained how to do this. Supposedly people had to have that already set up for today, but Julia just joined like now. So she never got the opportunity to do it. She didn't get that email, anything, because she just, I found about her 5 minutes before the class started. So Julia, go ahead and share your screen and I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
Okay, great. Now, go ahead and open a new tab. All right, so go to V, and let me just write it in the chat because I might spell it, it might be, so it's vmview.sbcc.edu. So if you see in the chat, no, I wrote it wrong. Delete, forget, that's wrong. I have a Band-Aid. vmview.sbcc.edu. So vmview.
Okay, let me write it down. So this is the link we're always going to be using.
No, that's not a link. So don't click on the link in the chat. It's just, well, I guess it does work as a link, but I don't know if you have it set up. So go ahead. You can use it as a link from there, but just go into where it says, so yeah, vmview.sbcc.edu. Good. Hit enter. Okay. Now on the right side, it says Omnissa Horizon Web Client. Click on that link. Yeah. Now sign in to school. Just log in. Now, oh, that's true, because to use VDI, you need to have two-factor authentication set up. Okay, so see how it says no ETP methods available? Please go to the account management page. Can you click on that? So do you have your phone next to you?
Yes.
Go grab it. Okay, so then head down to where it says registered phones. Click in there, and then add new phone and put in your phone number. Okay, say continue. Okay, now look at your phone and put in that code. Okay, perfect. All right, so now let's go back to making a new tab, and let's do again VMview, because I forgot that you didn't have this set up first. Okay, so vmview.sbcc, which now comes in. So now hit return. And now again there. And now when you sign in, from now on, for better or for worse, every time you sign into school, you will have this two-factor authentication though. But that's necessary for VDI. Okay. All right, cool. Now go to the student desktop at the very top. And by the way, let me stop you here, because a lot of people see underneath that it says Photoshop and things like that. Do not use those. Those are not the ones ever you want. They're not updated. You always, and you can't use the file. It's a long story. So don't ever get tempted to go to the shortcuts. You need to open the student desktop.
Okay.
So click on that. And this one will take a little bit. It takes, I don't know, a few seconds for this one. Go ahead and say okay. And then okay to that one, and then say allow while visiting this site. Okay, and say allow. Okay, and now this will take a little bit, and in 10 to 20 seconds, sometimes a minute, depending on how fast your computer is, you will suddenly be in a window screen, which you are already on a window, so now you'll have two windows, one inside of the other. So we'll just wait for that one. And when you're on Zoom, things are a little bit slower. So when you're not, so normally when you do this, you might want to start 5 minutes before class starts to get yourself set up with VDI so that all of this is done. All right, so here you are in the school computer, okay? Now you're not set up yet completely, because on the far right, you should see soon-ish over here-ish, you'll see your name come up and everything. And when that's all set up, then you will be ready to go. So it's still working. Now, while that's happening, we're going to also open, there it is. It's opening up Google Drive. Perfect. So welcome to Google Drive, and see how your name appeared, or at least your username appeared down there. So now you're ready to start. Now, this is the only part that people keep forgetting when they do VDI, is that the first time you open up the Photoshop, you'll have to sign into the iCloud, but never again. But this part needs to be done every day. And when we leave the class, like at the end of a class, you need to completely sign out, so that next time you sign in, you do it again. If you keep the Google Drive connected, then the files show up like corrupted and people think that they've done something wrong. So this is the part that you're going to have to sign in and sign out of each time. Okay, so go ahead and say get started. Say sign in. And here you need to put your entire school email address. So whatever your username is, at pipeline.sbcc.edu. So do not use your personal email. This is where people go crazy. It's your school pipeline. So your username, which is this one, JSTEPro, at pipeline.sbcc. dot edu. Dot SBCC.
Oh, that.
Dot edu. Say next. And now it takes you into the school username, which is only, okay, say sign in. Oh no, it skipped you that one. Okay, so now you can close this window. You're signed into Google Drive. So see at the top. Yep. Good. Now this one you can close too. It's just teaching you how to use it and we don't need that. So close it and close it and close it. It's-
Dan, what's my email again? I'll write it down. It's so J Stepro
Yeah, first go ahead and quit and then
okay.
this is just trying to teach you how to use it. But since you know how to use it, all you need to do, okay. So here it is, jstepro at
SB
pipeline.sbcc.edu.
oh pipeline pipe at pipeline dot
.sbcc.
dot edu. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, this is you now connected.
Okay.
When you disconnect, so see this little arrow down here? I don't know if you can see where I'm writing, that teensy little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and click on that little arrow. So this little icon there with color, that's your Google Drive now.
Okay.
So when you click on that, click on it, and you'll see the same window we just saw. Oh, why is it not? Click away. Ah, carbon black cloud. Was I wrong? It was the Google Drive a second ago. Did the
Yeah, it
Google,
was Google Drive before.
the Google drop? Close this and open it again with this little arrow. Oh, that's weird. Let's see if the Google Drive is connected. Go here to your, seems like it disconnected. Yeah, it's connected, so that's good. Okay. And then here it is. These are the shared drives or the class. Oh, well, that's fine. Hold on, because Ed just joined us. Hi, Ed.
Hi there, how are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
You, well, I can't see you. You
Oh,
survived your summer, huh?
I survived my summer. You're talking with two people who don't know about my whole summer, so they're
fine.
probably confused. I barely
I-
told them a bit.
I just logged in so I could make sure I could.
Yeah, no, that's
Right.
good. Thank you. So, Ed, I'm almost done getting Julia up to speed, so we'll be ready to roll. And what time is it? Oh, not yet. Most people, we're still not 2:30, so we still have a little bit of time before the rest of us join. So let me keep going. All right. So, so here's the deal, Julia. If so now from here you need to open Photoshop, but there's a couple different ways to open it that's right or wrong of which version you get. So go ahead and go to this this little icon here and click on that. Yep. The start button. Yeah, okay, try again. I don't know. You seem to have a pencil going, yeah. There it is. And then over here, we're going to open, and this is for you too, Colette. Do you have Bridge open? Do you have
Is it
Bridge?
open right now?
You have Bridge
It's
installed?
installed,
Well,
but it's not open.
go ahead and open it. So that's Adobe Bridge. Yeah, go ahead and open it. And the first time you open an Adobe program, Julia, you'll have to sign into Adobe. After that, it'll remember and you won't have to do this anymore. But right now, once Bridge opens, I'm going to walk you through signing it in, but that's a one-time only. The Google Drive has to be signed in each time, but the Bridge, but the Photoshop one time is enough. So now go to this same place down there and go ahead and click on that, and let's open Photoshop, which is a little bit lower than this. Oh, there we go. Hold on. The sign in appeared. So why don't we go to the sign in first before you open Photoshop? Go in there. Now this is again your entire email address, school one. So it was the jetro at pipeline.sbcc.edu. SBCC. Okay, continue. Same, the whole thing. A lot of people get confused and start putting their personal ones and then nothing works, but it's all the pipeline one. And now continue. Good, you're ready to go. All right, so this is Bridge. We'll come back to it later. Now let's go back down here and grab Photoshop. And it's a little bit lower than this. So there it is. There's Photoshop. Perfect.
So for the bridge, we sign only one time, right?
Bridge Photoshop, it's once you sign into that you just did, it's for all your iCloud your Adobe Cloud products. So we only do one sign up and that's it. So now Photoshop is opening up. Here, you can click on this to get rid of the what's new. Oh, now Photoshop is opening up, but you can go over here to that little X right there under my circle. Yeah, that one. Yeah, and then Photoshop is opening up. And when it's done opening up, you'll be ready to go. And then I'll show you all what Bridge is and everything. Hi, Jacob.
Hi, nice to see you again.
You. Wow, it's been a little while, hasn't it?
About 3 years.
Yeah. It was nice to see your name on the roster. It's always great to see old friends. Wonderful. So I was just walking in one of our new students on how to get Photoshop through VDI, but you have it, right? You already have your Photoshop
Yes,
set up?
yes,
And Bridge?
yes.
Okay, so you should be good to go. So, Juliet, one more thing. Head down here and see Photoshop. Click on that to make sure it's opening up and it isn't asking us anything. Yeah, it's ready to go. Okay. So here's the deal. You might get a little, here's what's new or something, but other than that, it's ready to go. So let me use Julia's example for a second for both Julia, Colette, Jacob. I'm not sure how remember, were you a Mac or a PC person, Jacob?
I'm a Mac.
Mac. Okay. So on a PC and on a Mac, but on a PC, I can't demo it because I don't have one. So I'm using Julia's here. What I want you to do is not to move the programs around, but to switch from program to program just by using this here. So if I were to now say, okay, let's go to Bridge, click on that. And then you're in Bridge. And when I say go to Photoshop, click on that. And that's it. And a lot of people tend to want to move things around, and there's absolutely no need to move anything around. Just use those two. And then that's good. I just wanted to say that. And on the Mac, it'll look like that, but on the dock. Okay. So now go ahead and hang out in Bridge and let me show you. And this is the first introduction into how to get to the class files. Let me just say that I have temporary class files. So here's the deal. I just got home last night and I did everything about prepping the classes. I have 6 classes starting, and the only thing I didn't get to do because I wasn't on my computer is select my photos for this class, which I know which ones I want, but I only put a few. So next Thursday, we'll be downloading the full set of class files. But right now I only have, I think I put 5, although really we won't be using 5 today, but I went ahead and put a few. So here's how you're going to do it. You're going to go to this PC. Oh, let me explain what Bridge is. Okay, hold on. Yeah, go to this PC. Yeah. And those of you who have Photoshop, you can't really do this yet because you first have to download the files. But since I'm here with Julia, I'm going to show Julia on VDI. You don't have to download anything, Julia, because your class files are already on the school Google Drive. So because you're on VDI, you're the only one who's not downloading them. Everyone else will have to download them first, but I'll get to you guys on that. Hi, Peggy. Hi, nice to see you. I can't hear you yet, but I know that you're saying hi or something like that.
Yes, I'm here.
There you go. All right. Nice to see you. All right. So double click on Google Drive. Yep. And then double click on shared drives. And then, oh, because you weren't in the class. Okay, hold on. See, that's your fault, Excel. Hold on. I need to actually give me a sec because I don't have the folder enabled yet. Give me one quick second. I didn't set it up yet. That's my bad one. Okay. You have to refresh back here to share drives for a second. You kind of click them.
Click.
No, you just it's just for to my there we go. Yeah, because you just got in. In the shared drives, you should have a folder called Photoshop Shared Drive. So it's not there yet. This is probably a class you took in the fall of 2022. So keep refreshing. Hopefully it'll come in soon because it might take a little bit of time because I don't know how long it takes for them to upgrade the fact that you're in there. So you should be seeing. So let's hang on a minute anyway, because everyone has to download the class files and everything. So in all that time, hopefully it'll give it time to come in. Okay. Otherwise, we'll make do with, no, we'll figure something out. I'll send you an email, a photo or something. All right. So there you go. You're ready to go. So I'm going to stop your share. And other than keep doing what you just did, which is kind of go in and out of the thing to refresh it every now and then. And we'll do it. Hi, Harry. How come I'm seeing everyone the top of everyone's heads today? Hi, Harry. Nice to see your head. Nice to see Peggy's top of her head. Are you miraculously and amazingly in Santa Barbara, Harry? Because you never are. Are you here right now? This guy's
Yes.
all over the world. I never catch him here. He's signing in from wherever in the world. All right. So hi there. Nice to see you. All right. So most of you might have met each other or not. I'm sure that most of you might have not met Jacob in a while, but definitely Colette and Julia are new to our Photoshop classes. So hi everyone.
Welcome.
Now, I got a little tiny bit of what they've done for Julia and Colette as far as what experience they had, but I didn't get much of what you want to do. And for you guys, I haven't asked you in a while what you would like to learn. So not like, big old monographs that go on for 20 minutes, but just a quick little, hey, this is what I'd like to learn, or just whatever you have to teach me is a good enough answer. Or if you have a specific project in mind and a specific thing that you're trying to do, which is why you're in the class, I'd love to hear that. So, hi, Rebecca. Oh, my Rebecca and my Peggy's. I always confuse you too. Can you see why? Whenever I only have one of them in class, I'll call them the name of the other.
Yeah.
But you're both here together. Do you know each other, by the way?
No.
Through class? Yeah, it's so funny. I'm like, Peggy, and Rebecca's staring, not knowing that I'm calling Rebecca, right? When you guys are not in class, and then I'll do it vice versa. Okay. So who wants to tell me why you're here? Any kind of answer is good enough.
Yeah, for me, it's been 3 years since I've taken a class with you or any
Mhm.
classes. And I just want a bit of a refresher, see what's new, particularly. I haven't been keeping up as much as I could have. So
Mhm.
that's
Wonderful. And
my
just a
interest.
quick little, is there anything in particular you normally do with Photoshop once you do have it?
I've been doing collaging
Mhm.
with old photos that I've taken various places, a lot
Mhm.
in Cuba, and I'm
Mhm.
still working on that. I call them botanical collages, where I'm taking the architecture and I'm putting various botanicals in the door and window openings.
Wonderful. I just want to let you know, I have a lot of awesome artists in these class always. I always love what people are up to. It's so fun to hear what people do with this. And others are just like, I had nothing to do today, or you begged me. Or the third thing, which is Ed. Or the third one, or Yeah, it's just ongoing. I just fixed some photos of my grandkids, so anything is fine, but I always find some pretty interesting activities going on that I always want to learn about. All right, so thank you, Jacob. Nice to see you again. Who else wants to? Don't make me call on
You
you.
already
Yes.
answered for me.
Oh, I already said it. I begged you. Yeah, I told Ed to come. I was running short on students, and Ed is not
No,
only
actually,
working.
I'm in the same boat. The only reason I take these classes is to learn what's new. Even though I know it sometimes, I like to see it being used.
Yeah.
You have a different spin on it than say one of the guys that I watch on YouTube or someone else, and
Uh-huh.
that's
Yeah,
why I spend this time. Plus, we're not doing it at night, so I can't fall asleep during it.
Oh, that's true. Because when my classes are in the evening, it's a hard one. Yeah.
It was tough.
Hey, Moni, how are you? Nice to see you.
Hi. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. And we're getting to Moni's one of my samples of someone who has taken all of my design classes and now she's like doing amazing stuff and she's working with it and she's incredible. So,
Just have to tell you,
yeah.
I'm also taking a stained glass class, and I just made a design for a window. I just finished it. I mean, I haven't made it in stained glass, but I designed it in Illustrator.
Oh, awesome.
Hey,
She's been doing all of these different, she does programs, just a lot of stuff, all starting from zero. So
Wow.
she's my little example student here.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, still learning. And Ed, by the way, is an amazing photographer and he has incredible stuff to show always. And on top of that, he now and then will email me something that I haven't learned yet about Photoshop. And he'll say, hey, did you know this is coming up in the beta? And so if I ever
I
learn
don't
something
send you
new,
beta stuff because I don't believe in,
Oh, that's-
I'm a software guy. Betas are no.
yeah, he's one of those guys who started with software when none of us even knew that a computer existed.
Yeah,
Anyway.
they keep putting stuff in seems like every week.
Yeah, it's like jumping
Of
to
course, they're
keep up.
charging more money
I've
now.
been gone for 2 months. For those of you who don't know my story, but I've been literally gone out of the country for 2 months, disconnected. I've been backpacking, hiking, biking, doing a bunch of great stuff. But in 2 months of not updating, it's like I fell back 4 years or something. It's crazy.
Four updates during that time.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. It's crazy the kind of stuff that they're up to. And before I could, every now and then learn. Now the amount of learning I have to do to even teach is just amazing. And you'll see that now and then I'll go, oh, that's not working like it used to. So then I'll figure it out by the next class, right? But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
By the way, hi, Ed.
Hi, Moni, how are you?
Good.
All right.
Good
So
to see
Harry, what do you do what do you use Photoshop for? What way are you taking these classes?
Refresh.
Refresh. Okay. And those photos that I see behind you, are they your photos?
Yes.
Yeah, because you travel all over the world and you print some amazing stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's being so, blow your horns, guys. All right. That's great. If we ever get to see, he also has some great photos out there in the world. Okay. Rebecca.
I'm taking this for more experience so that when I go to do something, it's like I know how to do it. I don't have to struggle to figure out how to do it.
Wonderful. Love that. And then Julia, looks like she had to step out, but she used to do Photoshop before and now she's just trying to get back into it. So that's the short thing. Now I would like to know any particular reason, like are you making a book? Are you creating something or are you just interested? But when she gets back, we'll ask her. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Everyone's up and running by now. I just need to get you guys to get some files. But my disclaimer before was that I only have a couple of files in the folder that usually has a bunch of files. I only have 5 files that I put in there in a hurry, literally, this morning before my morning class started, because I got here last night and I didn't have a computer up until now. I've been handling all of registration on my phone. It's amazing. When you have to write long letters on the phone, it's very frustrating, but at least I got it done. But I wasn't able to do all my photo selection. So I'm going to walk you through what we're going to do to get the 5 files that I do have and then, or less. And then by next Thursday, we're gonna re-download the full set of class photos, okay? And this matters because we're gonna access them. Julia and Colette, you don't know, we're gonna use Bridge to access these files, right? So right now I'm going to share my screen, and this is a browser. Any browser will do, whatever browser you like to use. None in particular needs to be. Let me close a bunch of stuff that I had for the last class. Here we go. All right. So any browser, doesn't matter. Just let's head over to my .sbcc.edu unless you already, oh, that's not my .sbcc.edu. In fact, my first class on Tuesday, I taught from Cleveland. I had just arrived from my 2-week bike trip. And but I didn't need class files for that one. So I was on the air arriving here yesterday. All right. So my.sbcc.edu, everyone, let's sign in to the class, to the school dashboard. When you're done and you're there and you caught up with this portion, please give me a yes, so I'll know that we're ready to continue. So some of you haven't signed in years and don't remember your pipeline stuff, and others are like, you do this all the time and it's quick. That's fine. If you need any help getting to this point, let me know. Now, depending on how big your window is, when you get here, you might be seeing this with nothing red on the side, or if you have a big window, then you will see this red thing on the side. If you don't see it, don't worry, because if you have a small window, because you're sharing your screen with other stuff, then these horrible white little lines over a very blue sky, and I've told them and they haven't changed it yet. It's a bad icon. When you click on that, it opens your red dash column, and then this little icon there closes it. So if you have it already, that's good because we're going to need it. But if you don't have it, use those little lines to open it up and this one to close it up. All right, looking at the group, and Julia, are you there? At the dashboard, your sound is off, so I can't hear you.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, and Harry, remember, if you don't say yes or no, I ask you one-on-one. Are you, so go ahead and this is training. So then give me a yes if you're there and not. And Jacob, you might have forgotten this portion.
I have forgotten.
Yeah. So yeah, after 3 years, I would have forgotten too. So head down to where you have all the little icons and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of them is a heart and it says react. Do you see that one?
No, I don't.
Oh, because I'm sharing my screen, so it might not be in the same spot. Let me stop my share for a second. You see where you get to mute and unmute yourself, and then it says participants and share.
Yes.
Okay, one of those says react, and it's a heart shape. Do you see that one?
Oh, yes, I'm
There it
sorry.
is. Okay.
Okay.
So when you click on that heart, you'll see the little red X or green check mark. You found it? Okay, good.
Got it. Thank
All
you.
right. Now I'm going to share my screen again, and here we go. So you're all here. All right, so if you don't see the red column, go ahead and open it. And they have shifted where these things are again. Let me show you how we're going to do this. We're going to go down from the top, scroll down to the Gmail. Under shortcuts, so after the first set, there's a line and that says shortcuts, and then click on Gmail. That was me clicking on the wrong thing. Click on Gmail. It'll open your SBCC Gmail, but just to make sure, because some people have personal Gmails, make sure that it's your SBCC one. It should see as SBCC over here. If it happens to say that it's your private Gmail, let me know. I'm going to clear your feedback. So if you're all here and you see your Gmail, now next to this place that says SBCC, there's a little waffle icon, these 9 little dots. Click on that. And then let's open the Google Drive. If you're not here, if I lost you in some other spot, please let me know. If you're here and all is good, then give me a yes. And if you're not here, give me a no. So we're heading to the class files, which has handouts and In this case, it also has the class files. So Jacob, how can I help?
I'm at SBCC net. Whoop, what happened? I've got my
On your-
Gmail on the SBCC.
You have your Gmail. Okay. So
site.
on the the other day I had someone who didn't have this little icon. That's why I was like, do you
Oh,
see
you said those 3 dots.
those little 9
fine.
dots? Do you see that one there?
Yeah, I see it, but it's just, it's either shrinking my email page or enlarging it a bit.
Okay. You might need to do that. Because yeah, when you're a bit small, well, mine keeps moving with it, but yeah. Go ahead and click on that one, and that's the access. There's other ways to access the Google Drive, so that dashboard, but they've hidden it under piles of buttons, worse than before. In fact, the tutorial I had telling people how to do it, I need to redo it because they moved things again. This dashboard is relatively new for SBCC, and they keep moving things, and so my tutorials of how to get there have to keep changing. So were you able to find it now, Jacob, or do you want to share your screen?
No, I don't see anything.
Okay,
really.
let's do
I
this.
clicked on
Plus, since you haven't had a chance to share your screen, this would be a good reminder of how to do it because you haven't done it for a bit. So let me walk you through that and then I can help you. So do you see your Zoom again? The React where you just gave me the yes or the no. Next to that, you should see a share button.
Yeah, let me put that in the doc.
Just tell me once you find your Zoom again. If not, I can help you find it.
Okay, I've got it.
Got it. Okay.
Okay,
So
share
then
button. Yeah.
share button. And since you haven't done this for a while, we might need to do permissions again. But if you clicked on it once, then there's another button at the bottom that's blue with white letters.
It says
Okay,
share.
share, yeah.
Click it again.
Yeah, and since, yeah, it's sharing, so permissions are good. All right, so now we can get rid of this page because we don't need this page anymore. Perfect. Okay, so
this is
there's
what
the,
I've got.
okay, great. Now I see it right here. See this little, you might have Zoom in the, Zoom photos in the way, but do you see over here that little icon that I'm pointing to here? Sometimes Zoom windows are in the way.
The
Yeah.
gallery view is in the way.
The gallery view, yeah, so grab it from the black and move it out.
Okay, those 4. Okay.
There we go. Perfect. And now that's the Google Drive.
Okay.
I know that for some of you guys, it seems weird because we can see his button, but that area is covered by Zoom and Zoom doesn't share itself. So he has the Zoom photos on top of that and it was hiding from him. Okay, good. So you're here. All right. So I'll use your computer to keep sharing. And once you're all here in the Google, we're going to head over to shared drives right there on the left side. And since you haven't used this for a while, I might need you to acknowledge this and say, yeah, because it hasn't. Yeah, so click on that. No. Go back to it. Whoa, you have a lot of windows open there. Okay, shared drives right there. Yeah, perfect. Click on shared drives.
Okay.
Try one more time because it hasn't gone there yet. There we go. And here's your Photoshop shared drive.
Okay.
Go ahead and double click on that one. And here you are. These are the class files. And right now, this thing that says temp Photoshop class files, I need you to do a right click, not to open it, don't double click, just right click on this folder and say download. Yeah, perfect. Click on download. So everyone go ahead and download these photos and see how it's preparing the download over there. Now let me clean your answers. And once everyone has gotten to this place and hit the download, then give me a yes. Julia, you're the only one who doesn't have to do this because you're getting the files through BDI. Now, if you think you're going to buy it and have it by next week, then go ahead and download them. But if not, wait. No, don't even, because next week I'll have new files. So yeah.
Diane, I'm trying to do it anyway, but I'm having a trouble logging to my SBCC account. It's telling me it doesn't give me a choice for authentication, and it's telling me like let's see.
Okay, how about you share your screen? So Jacob's, you've got it running now, and it's downloading. So I'm going to stop your share.
Okay.
Everyone now go ahead and once it's done, Harry, let me know if you need help. Meanwhile, Julie, I want to share your screen so I can see what those messages are because
Yeah. let me-
Before, the files weren't coming up either. So I'm wondering if you're
So
having
I'm
something happen
sharing,
with your,
I'm sharing this screen and
give me a sec,
the
there it is.
the files did not come through yet. So I got SBCC login and it's
Okay, don't do it again, because you have 4 strikes. Stop. If you do it one more time,
yeah, I
even
know.
one more time, you will be locked out for like 10 minutes, then 20, then 30. So
Is that
I don't want you to show the password to the whole world, but have you tried show password? Let me stop your share. See how it says show password? Go ahead and check and see if you've got the right password. I stopped your share so we don't see your password, but can you check it to see what's happening there?
oh yes, there is not a correct password.
Okay, that's
Oh,
probably what's happening. So go ahead and put in the right password in there.
I need to find it.
Okay,
Okay, I don't want to take your time and
that's fine. No, now that we know it's the password, go ahead and find it and put it in. And when you're in there, then let me know and I'll help you again. Meanwhile, Harry, how are we doing? Were you able to find and download, or do you need a hand?
I have it right now, the Photoshop share driver, now temp Photoshop class now.
Yeah. So right click and download
Where you down?
the temp folder. That
Temp.
thing that says temp Photoshop class files,
Yeah.
just do a right click on that.
Uh-huh.
Remember, right click with the mouse is easy, but with two, otherwise on the touchpad, it's 2 fingers down.
Yeah, and it's preparing download.
Okay, good. That's where you need to be, so you're good.
Okay, then.
Okay, since it's only 5 files, and you know what? Here I'm talking about it, but I need to do it too, because I need to put them in this computer actually. So give me a sec, because I did it on my other one. Here we go. Temp and download. Okay. So now, okay. So now, while the downloads are happening and Julia is signing in, let me explain Bridge. So many of you guys here have used Bridge before, but if you haven't taken my class before, or if it's been a while, you might have forgotten. So let me do a little bit. Bridge is getting really powerful too. You can delete backgrounds. You can do so much stuff on Bridge right now too, which is pretty amazing. You're just trying to make streamline things. But the main reason we're using Bridge is because the main reason I use it in class is because half of you guys are on a Mac, half of you guys are on a PC. When we try to find files, everyone's trying to figure out the way to use their Finder, their Explorer. They don't know how to handle files. It's a mess. So Bridge is universal. Like, we all see the same exact thing. And the role of Bridge, in fact, is to be kind of like a Finder for the Mac or like the File Explorer for the PC, only it's part of Adobe. And it works with all of the Adobe products seamlessly. And it has a lot of things you can do, and you can make collections, you can make, you can put in so much, copyright, keywords. There's just so much that you can do as far as organizing your photos. But also it lets you do some basic processing. It also gives you access to Camera Raw outside of Photoshop. We can also get Camera Raw inside of Photoshop. For those of you who have no idea what Camera Raw is, we'll get to that. So Bridge is a pretty powerful program in and of itself, but the main thing that we in class are using it for, because I don't have time to teach you Bridge, I'm teaching you Photoshop, is mainly as a place where we go find our class files and open files from there. How many of you guys know or have used Lightroom? Hold on, let me clean your answers. I'm gonna get a yes from you guys if you've used Lightroom, or a hands up. Okay, so Ed, Harry, and Peggy. So Lightroom is 100% photography, right? So if you're purely a photographer and you don't use any other let's just say Illustrator, InDesign, but there's so many others, video, whatever. If you're 100% photographer, Photoshop can do Lightroom is where you would do a lot of your organizing. Lightroom is actually also set up for people who do, 10,000 photos per shoot and that kind of thing. So it's great at managing huge amounts of stuff and whatnot. Bridge, on the other hand, is, as its name implies, a bridge amongst all different programs that Adobe Creative Cloud has. and it accepts and recognizes and can handle photos, files of all types, not just pixel-based photography types, which is what Lightroom does. So if you have to make a brochure and you're including your, you know, your InDesign files with your Illustrator files, with your Photoshop files and stuff like that, you can organize all your projects inside of that, inside of Bridge, because it can handle all those files, video, whatever it might be, sound, etc. So it overlaps in some cases with other programs, but for the most part, it's like the home to find and mainly right now what we're going to do is replace the Finder and the File Explorer. So we don't need to put the files anywhere in particular. Files can be anywhere. In this case, the files we just downloaded are in your downloads folder, because when you download stuff, they go automatically in your downloads folder. So what we need to do with Bridge now is we need to go find our downloads folder to access those files. But first, I see a hands up from Jacob. So yeah, what's up? Can I? Oh, you were just saying you use Lightroom?
I was just, yes, that I've used Lightroom.
Perfect. Got it. Just wanted to confirm. I thought that was it because that's when you raised it, but I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing on a question. All right. So so when you use Bridge, it's a tiny tad different if you're on a PC or if you're on a Mac. So I'm going to first share mine, which is a Mac, and then I'm going to ask someone who has a PC to give me a slight share. So most of the times Mac or PC on Adobe is virtually identical, except for the fact that what's different is the computer. And since Bridge accesses your files, it's a little bit different in this case because it's got to deal with the fact that Mac and PC files are accessed a little bit differently. And that's why there's a slight difference. So when you open Bridge at the beginning, on the left side, here it'll say computer, desktop documents, if you're on a Mac, and if you're on a PC, instead it'll say, I believe, my computer. What does it say, UPC people?
This PC.
It says this PC, then it says desktop documents and stuff like that. So for those of you who are on VDI, like Julia, you need to go to this PC, and then that's where you open Google. But for people who are on their own computers, you can just go to downloads. The thing is that for the Mac people, downloads isn't here. So if you don't see downloads, you Mac people, because you haven't used it for a while, then you first had to go to your computer and open your hard drive, and then open your users. And I'm going to walk you through it if that's one of you guys. And then open your folder and then find your downloads, okay? So I'm going to walk you through that if that's who you are. Now, I already put my downloads here, so mine are here. If you see your downloads, then go to your downloads and find it. Now, you can find that folder that was called temp by going to your T's, for example. And so here it is, temp Photoshop class files, or you can just do a search here and write temp Photoshop class files or something like that, and you'll find it. Now, here's what you need to do. I don't want you to open it. Most people get there and open it because it makes sense. You double click and you open it, and these are the files. I don't want you to do that. I want you to go back up here if you did open it and go back to downloads. And what we need to do is we need to actually, here, let me go find it again. PucariST. I want you to grab it and to drag it to any empty space you have right there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to drag it out here and see that blue line that appears right there. I'm going to let go right there, and it'll say temp Photoshop class files. So now we've made a little shortcut to access it. We don't need to access it anymore, and we just click over here. So next time you open Bridge, all you need to do is click on temp Photoshop class files, and there is where we will have all files. Now I know I kind of went once over really quickly through all of this. So now I want people to give me a yes if you got it, which probably is not all of you guys. And then I'll work one-on-one on your different systems and show you PC, Mac, whatever, to show you how to get to this place, okay? So yes, if you got it and you're done, then you're gold. Now, anyone else who needs a hand, please either give me a no or tell me. Okay, so Colette. The easiest way is to share your screen, because then I can walk you through it in this case. And then when I walk you through it, it probably helps someone else who hasn't gotten it either. So you're on a Mac. So this is why the downloads doesn't show up here automatically, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to go over here and double click on Macintosh hard drive. And you go to users. And then you're going to go into your folder share, Colette. Okay.
There
And
it is.
before we do anything else, hold on, drag downloads out here. So that way from now on, you have downloads there. Good. Now go to downloads. Yeah. And now let's find the temp Photoshop, which is there. And now drag that one out there. And you're set and ready to go. Whoop. Try it again. You need to wait until the blue line. There. Now let go. Perfect. Now click
Got
on
it.
that and you've got the class files. Good. Ready to go. All right. You can change that to a yes. Julia, let's see what's happening to you because did you get into your folder you got the right password this time?
Yeah, I got in.
All right.
And
Let's try to go into your VDI because that is where we're going to need. Oh, you seem to have closed out of the VDI.
Oh, VDI on a different computer.
Oh,
And
this
it's-
is where you were trying. Okay, so go down to, okay, so this is shared drives. That's true because you
Yeah.
had gotten in because you were locked out before. Okay, so
Yeah.
go to your shared drives right there.
Oh, shared drives. Okay.
Okay. You're still not there.
And on the VDI, I don't get the folder that you're talking about either.
Yeah, it's like you're not in the class. When
Mhm.
did you register? You said you registered a short time ago, but how short?
Today.
Today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that because you registered today, you're still not showing up as registered. So maybe what I need to do is I need to email you. Go over here to your email and I will email you a couple of photos that we can have for today. So go here. Move. Yeah, you see where I'm drawing pink over there? I see your mouse way over there. Yeah, go
Oh.
to this tab, which is your email. It's your school email. Here. No, your school email. No. Here. See this tab that I'm marking up? Way up there. Stop moving it. Stop moving your mouse. Stop moving your mouse. Okay.
Oh.
Right
No.
here, it says inbox. Are you not seeing where I'm making lots of
No.
pink
I don't see it.
here? Inbox pipeline right there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's your
Uh,
school email.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
So wait for a minute here and I will send it to you right here. Okay. So give me a sec. And compose. So it's JT. Can you tell me your
JSTEPRO.
EPR?
Oh.
Oh, there we are. Pipeline. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna just give you a couple. Let me go to my folder. Where were they? Here. And here. I hope they're small enough. And here. Which are the ones? Let me look at Bridge again. Which ones did I do? Those two. I won't send you the raw file today. So I will send you just the small files. Because I don't think the others will get emailed correctly. Okay. Let's see if that'll work. Okay, I just pressed send. It'll take a little bit because they're files. And you should be getting it relatively soon. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm going to walk you through how to, once you get them, how to upload them to your Google Drive so that you can use them. And then we need to see if by the end of this class, you still didn't get in. It's not about VDI. It's your pipeline isn't acknowledging that you're registered for the class now. Go ahead and refresh to see if maybe the files are here. Go to this little arrow there and hit on that. Yeah. See if the things arrived. It looks like if by the end of today you're still not there, well, it's going to take a little bit because the files are, it's a file with a lot of.
Oh, and quick question, Diana, on a VDI, I don't see a link to the Zoom. Where did it go? How do I find it? On the
No.
second.
You don't see a link to Zoom? I mean, you don't.
It's kind of disappears someplace, and I know I am connected because I'm
Because
sure.
we're talking, yeah, but go to where you had the VDI. Go click on VDI. Go to VDI where you said you had it on a different. Oh, you
Yeah.
have it on the other computer.
On the computer, yeah.
Oh, no, that's not good then, because I'm sending you stuff here to this computer and you have VDI on another computer. You won't be able to. Harry, are you coming in with another computer, Harry? Or
I
is
have
it?
open another computer.
Okay, because it has a different name, and I'm like, is that you still? It's just a typo, yeah.
It's
Okay.
a little confusing. This is.
Now you need to take the sound off of your second one.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm correcting your name here. Do you know how to take the sound off? You need to
I
go
did it.
to, okay. It's not so much, go ahead and speak to make sure that it doesn't revert. Go ahead and speak, Harry.
Hello.
There's a reverb, so don't mute yourself. Okay, good. It's done. That's good. That's good. Now it's done. All right, Julia. I emailed you stuff that should get there, but since it's 5 files, it'll take a little bit. But the problem is that you're going to get them on the computer that's not where your VDI is. So can you get your email, your school email on the computer that you have your VDI?
On VDI, okay, so I need to go to.
You know what? Maybe I'll help you during break. I want to keep going with the class. So let me just get started with Photoshop.
Yeah.
Because this is getting really, there's so many things going on. I'll get going a little bit. Do you have, no, because you don't have any files.
Well, I can find something on the internet, any picture, right?
Well, inside of VDI.
Oh,
To
okay.
go to VDI, open the drive that's there on the, there's a Google Chrome on the desktop of the VDI. Open that and download a file from there into your VDI computer, and then you'll be able to use that. Okay? Share your screen one more time, but this time your VDI computer, and then
Well, that's the problem. I can't see the Zoom on my VDI computer.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I don't see any, and I try to minimize.
If you go to the dock, yeah.
I don't see any
You made it
Zoom.
full screen. If you hit escape to leave the full screen.
Escape.
You know what? Let me just go on with the class and I'll give a break relatively soon, and then I can try to help you with that because it's
All
gonna
right.
a bit. I see how to do it, but it's gonna take a little bit. And we're
Okay.
relatively near break time, so just hang in there, okay?
All right, sure. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So now everyone who has Photoshop and Bridge, let me show you something that I want to make sure everyone knows, which is I don't want you guys, ideally, and no matter how many times you've taken this class, people keep doing it. Let me share my screen. And I'm just gonna show it to you once, and then after that, it's up to you. But here we are in Bridge. We have the class files. If you need to go to Photoshop, of course, by opening one of these, it'll open in Photoshop. But beyond that, see my dock over here? if I need to go to Photoshop, I don't want people to start doing this thing where they move one thing over and they go to another, and then they have this here and then that there, and then the tools are gone, and it just drives me crazy, you guys, when you do all that. It just isn't actually necessary anyway. So here's what I want you guys to do. To make your your program as big as comfortable, you can leave the side available to not have you can leave the side open to so that, because you know, like, was it Jacob that you couldn't see the stuff because Zoom
Yeah.
is in the way? Over
Right.
here on the right, Zoom tends to take up this space. So you can make your Photoshop a little bit smaller so that it doesn't use this space, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's what I do. I resize it so that it doesn't use, Zoom uses space on top and space on the side. So I put my programs one on top of the other, right? Literally one on top of the other. And then that's it. And then when you need to go from Photoshop to Bridge, we just do it like that. And then Zoom is here on the side and here on the top, and it doesn't bug anyone. You guys don't see my Zoom, but I have you guys here and then here and then there. And so now I don't need to move anything, and I have all my tools available. Okay. So if you guys can organize your screens like this, you'll spend a lot less time moving things around. Or, which drives me crazy, is when you share your screen and of course you couldn't see what to do because it was down there. And so the tools are there and you can't reach them because you moved it down like that. So how can you reach those bottom tools? Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So hopefully that'll help avoid not reaching the tools. All right. Other than that, now I'm going to reshare, but I'm going to share only my Bridge and Photoshops. So I'm not sharing my whole screen with you guys, but hopefully you guys will do that on your side. Okay. So cool. So now the other reason I want that is because when you do have these two programs open, like right now, I made Bridge smaller than Photoshop. And if you're new to this, it might be really confusing as to which one you're supposed to open, like one or the other way, like, is this part of Photoshop, is this part of Bridge? Because they are very similar one to the other. So by having them completely and exactly the same size, then you don't have that problem because you're only choosing here or here to find which one that you're doing. Okay, enough. That was my little soapbox. Let me clear your answers and clarify. Has everyone in Bridge found their Photoshop files? Let me give me a final yes. Harry, I didn't confirm with you. Did you get them on Bridge? Jacob?
Yes.
Julia is the only one who we know right now. We're kind of working on it, but Harry, is that a yes?
I do have it.
Do or don't?
I do. Yeah.
You do. Okay. Okay, so I'll clear your answers. Next time, remember to give me a yes or a no. All right, here we go. So we're in Bridge and we have a new tool right there. But right now we have preview, publish, or quick actions. Quick actions is new. Preview is where I want us to be for now. And if I were to click on this little chameleon over here, single click, just a single click, the chameleon appears over there. If I click on the tulips appear over here. So this is like a bigger preview, but in this case that we have so few photos, we don't, it's almost the same size, but we can make this as big or as small as we want. Down here at the bottom, you can see how we can make this be really tiny or really big. Most of the times, if we have 20 or 30 photos, we might want it to make it a bit smaller so we see all our photos in one big screen, kind of like an old-fashioned contact sheet kind of thing. In this case, since only a few photos, they can come out a bit bigger. But the good news is that when you select something, a lot of information comes up here that's really crucial to helping us choose the photos, because this is the metadata, the stuff that's beyond the picture. Beyond the image itself. Down here, we find out how many pixels it has, how big that file is, to see, well, what format it is and stuff like that. If you were the one who took the picture, you would also see what camera shot. These are all downloaded from sample files. In fact, these two are from Photoshop itself that was given an example on something and I downloaded it. So I don't have on many of these camera information, but on this one, I do have camera information, exposure and stuff like that. But if it's your own, you can use that kind of information, and you have your own cameras. Like, I want to pick all the photos that I shot with this camera or that camera or stuff like that, or on this date or on that day. So you can do a big search for that kind of stuff. But right now, the most important thing is that we're going to start learning what is important and what to do with all this metadata that comes up here. So this is the only raw image that I included today. And you'll notice that it has many more pixels than, say, this little guy. That's just a downloaded JPEG. So JPEGs, actually, it isn't a JPEG. This is a JPEG. But it's a JPEG that's high quality. So if you look over here, it's got 5,000 pixels by 3,000 pixels. And then this one here has only 1,800 pixels by 1,200 pixels. So right now, this is just like verbiage and words that I'm saying that might be going in one ear out the other. Hopefully, by the time we're done with this class, this will make sense to you and you'll understand why pixels and pixel quantity and the difference between quantity and quality and all that kind of stuff. So for now, I'm going to avoid teaching you much more about this. I first have to have you read a handout. And once again, for those of you who've taken my classes before, you might have read this handout a bunch of times and you're tired of seeing it. But for people who have never read it, it's a pretty crucial bunch of information that I need you to read before we move on to, let me just make sure that the email to you got sent. I'm talking about Julia. Yeah, I did send you. Did you get it ever? Your email, my email? Julia, your sound is off, so.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so then if you got it, go ahead and download them, but that still won't help unless you can get the emails in your other computer. But anyway, okay. So I'm going to go to the class files, and hopefully you still have the same place where we downloaded the Photoshop shared drive. Hopefully you have that open, and if you don't, I'll help you again. But I have a handout here that I need you guys to read. And the reason I got distracted is because, Julia, if you can't get to these, remind me and I'll email it to you. But there's one of these handouts is called New Pixels, Image Size, and Image Resolution in Photoshop. So I'm going to double click on it. And here it is. This is 13 pages. So take your time between here and next week. You should be able to read. A lot of it is pictures, so it's not that much to read. But I want you guys to get this whole thing under your belt before we start talking about all that metadata. Okay. And then if you've already read this one, because some of you guys have, hopefully you have also read the others, but if not, How to Resize Images for Email and Web is one I want you to read, for those of you who already read the bottom one, or Image Resolution and Print Quality. And there was one more. I should give them the same name. That way it's easier. I think it's those two, Print Quality and Email. Yeah, it's those two. So these two is the ones that I want you guys to read if you've already read the first one. Okay. Oh, here's the other one. How to Resize Images for Print. How to resize image for print. How to resize image for email and web. And Image Resolution and Print Quality. So those were the three that I want you guys to read. Now, if you're really interested in anything else beyond that, then Graphic File Types has a lot of information about different kinds of graphic files. So again, if you've read all those four, then start reading all of the other stuff that's here. There's good information. All right. But this one is needed. You definitely have to read this one by Thursday. Okay. By next Thursday, the new images. Okay. So back to Photoshop and Bridge, because you will need to have that information if we're going to move on with understanding all of this metadata. All right. So I just want to do a very quick little blow your mind out for anyone who's used Bridge before, and I just told you there's some new quick stuff that you can do inside of Bridge. So this is just a tiny demo that it's so fun. It'll take us 2 seconds. Select this chameleon. Just simple select, not double click or anything. Simple select. Someone has someone has 2 computers and there's sound in the background. Let me look at. I think it's, yeah, Harry, you muted your sound, but you didn't disconnect. So do you hear that little reverb that we have going?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need you to disconnect one of your sounds. So go to your second computer
Okay.
and go down to the place where you muted it. And you see how it says audio and there's a tiny little arrow next to that?
Mm.
Yeah? Do you see it? Are you on a computer on the other one or is it an iPad or?
2 computers.
The computers, okay. So the same place where you mute and unmute yourself, it says it's
Okay.
called audio, yeah?
Audio, the X on the where the X.
Yes, okay. Right next to it, there's a tiny little little triangle like that. You see that?
Mhm.
Click on
Yeah.
that. Okay, and then at the bottom of that, on the bottom of that, the second one up says leave computer audio. Go ahead and click on that. There we go. Perfect. Now there's no problem. Now there's no more reverb. When you have two computers in a room, next time you connect to Zoom, when it says, should I connect with audio? You just need to say, no, no audio, no audio. And then you don't have to do that. But if you leave the audio, then you need to
Now I can hear you.
and turn it off. You cannot hear me now? Oh, I'm seeing that your other one has sound. Can you hear me or not?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
now.
but now you have sound on again. You didn't.
Oh,
do it.
sound. Okay. What should I do?
Maybe do it on the other one and then leave the sound on the first one.
All right.
See which one is the better one, but one of them has to be disconnected. Otherwise, I'm battling my little echo. Okay. I'll let you work on that while I keep explaining a little bit here about Bridge. So anyway, this is just a little tiny blow your minds moment. This gecko has a pink background. Let's head over, just a simple selection. Go over here to quick actions. And then go over here and click on remove background. Photoshop Express opens up, which I don't think we've used here in the past. And hello. Why didn't it do it automatically? I did it automatically last time I did this. Did I click on something else? Well, I'll drag an image here.
This file type, not.
That is weird. It's a PSD. Did it need to be only a JPEG? Oh, because I had it as a JPEG before. Huh. Okay, that's probably what's happened. JPEG, JPNG, or okay. Because I had said, okay, so that's why. Forget it. Here, I wanted to blow your minds and I can't. Oh, sorry. Let me hit the escape to get rid of this now. How do I? Okay. So much for that demo. And how do I there, hit the escape to get rid of it.
Let me introduce you to Murphy.
I was like, I'm gonna just do something so cool, and then I can't do it. This is a JPEG, but I don't know that it would be able to remove. What would it do with that? Now I'm curious. I'm gonna select that one. What could it do with this background? Can it figure out that the green is the background? No, because there's no easy background there. How?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It did it for you? It's just going to assume. There it goes. It left the little photos there, which is kind of weird because it's not doing a good job here anyway, but it did a perfect job with a simple file. Anyway, hit the escape to get rid of that. But anyway, it's little things like that. But it has a couple of little, a few new conversion things going on that are pretty fun. Anyway, and escape that again and forget about that. That wasn't really part of the class. That was just me trying to show you something quick that turned into, like Ed said, Murphy. Murphy's Law, anyone? when you try to show something quick and it's not quick. All right, I was waiting for Harry. So Harry, how are we doing? We got it
Good.
now?
Good.
I'm still hearing you. Well, that's okay. You don't normally talk too much. If you have to talk a lot, I'll help you again. Okay. All right. So let's get,
Deanna, a quick question.
yes.
I move the temporary Photoshop class files into Bridge under favorites, and that folder was kind of empty, and then I moved the individual files
Okay.
from that folder. They're appearing, but I can't get them to open.
Yeah. So the thing is that, did you move them out of the downloads folder on the Finder? No.
I just
because
dragged
this
and
isn't
I dragged and dropped them
from your Finder or from Bridge?
from downloads.
Okay, because if you move them out of
Bridge.
downloads, this is
Yeah.
just quick access to the downloads. And so if you moved them out of downloads, like in a Finder, this won't find it anymore, because this isn't a moving that we did. This was just a shortcut to the downloads. So if you
Oh.
took them out of downloads, where did you put them? In your documents now? Desktop? Where did you?
I just put it in the under favorites, so they're just listed here as individual files.
Yeah, so
What should I have
go
done?
ahead and share your screen and I'll help you out with that, which is a good time for me to say welcome to Michael, who just showed up. Hi, Michael. Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, I'm still logging in. Yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. I'm glad you're able to join us. So Michael today is just on his phone because he's traveling, so he's not going to do the work, but he is just checking in and is going to listen in until he has all the material in front of him. Okay, so nice to see you, Michael. And let me help here.
I've got the share up.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Go back to the folder that says temp Photoshop class, right?
Mhm.
That one. Okay. Click on that folder. Yeah. So looks like you moved. Let's go back to the oh, you don't have your downloads folder here. So let's go find the files again. Did you move them? Like if you were to open a Finder window right now, where are those files? Go ahead and do
Well,
that. Open a
under downloads, the files are there. I've got my downloads window open over here. I don't know. Can you see that?
Yes and no.
Off here.
So can you open that's the downloads folder, but it doesn't tell me where they are. There they are. Okay. So are they, go ahead and click on one of those. Just select one of those files. I need to see at the bottom. No. I didn't want you to double click. I needed you to single click, but that's okay. I'm just trying to, can you
Switch to
close?
another single
Yeah, there
click?
we go. I just needed to see that. Can you do a right click on that? Temp,
Yes.
no,
And-
not there. On the temp Photoshop class files. Do a little right click on that. I need to
Oh.
see where that folder is. Here. You see where I'm circling in purple? Not where you are.
Oh,
Here.
okay.
Go over to this word that says temp Photoshop files. Yeah, and do a right click. They are in the download. So now select downloads for a second. Select downloads. Okay, so they're in there. They should be in there. Now go back to Bridge. I just needed to confirm they were still in there and you hadn't moved them out. Okay, so go back to Bridge. All right, so let's go over here to the computer and we'll go pick it up from your folder again. Go over here to where it says computer. Yep. Double click your hard drive. Now, probably this one is your user. Yeah, double click your user folder. And now go into, no, here, Locker. That's the name of your computer. Yep, there we go. And now scroll down a little bit because it's so big that it's, we need to find your downloads. So a little bit there, downloads. Okay, so grab this one and put it in here. Whoops, you double clicked. I needed you to, so go back here to where it says Locker. Hold on, I'm covering it over. Go one back. Yeah, there we go. Now go back to the downloads folder, scroll down Yeah, and there, and then just drag it, don't open it, just drag it over to the favorites. Yeah. So we're not moving anything, we're just giving, this is just creating a shortcut. So, okay, now select your downloads. Okay. Why is nothing showing up in your downloads? Just trying to see what happened that your files are not visible. It's reading them, it's reading them.
Yeah, that was endlessly turning when I did the original.
Well, go ahead and click on, just single click on this one to see if perchance it finds it. Single click.
I'm sorry, on one
Chameleon,
image.
yeah, one of those, yeah. A single click. Yeah, it's like they're not connecting to your downloads. Do you had that? Okay, let me do here. This is here's what I need to do. Can you I'm gonna request remote control. Can I check out something on your computer first for a
Sure.
second so that we can move
Absolutely.
forward? Okay. So do you see something that says request remote control? You need to say okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now don't move your mouse anymore. Okay, I'm trying to figure out to keep your mouse still so that I can do it. No. Why is it not giving me? It's not letting me control your computer. Did it say something like you need to give permissions?
And I did. Yeah, I approved it. It said, yeah.
You said, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not letting me do it. That's weird. Maybe it went into your system settings. Okay. I don't know. I can't do this, and I don't know what's happening.
I don't want to take a lot of time on this because
Yeah.
I can follow it and then next week
This is
I'll have.
weird. Let's do this a little bit during break, because I'm not sure what's happening. I am concerned, let me just say on the side, that you have so many windows open that your computer, which is probably really powerful and that could be doing things really fast, is trying to update all of these at the same time, because when you have these open, it's constantly keeping them all working. So I'm just a little bit concerned that that might be something as to why it's taking this long to get something that we already confirmed is in your downloads. So anyway, I'm going to stop your share for now. Go ahead and find it here in your Finder right there, the way you did before. Go back to this, and then you can open it straight from there. So go down to the T.
Just temp, yeah.
Yeah, or even if you go back on this one, it'll take you there because you were there. Go to this arrow. That's where you were before. Yeah, and if you double click, since it's a PSD, it will open in Photoshop, and that's good. That's what we're going to do next, so that's okay. And then we'll have to figure out what's happening with your bridge. You might want to quit your bridge because it might be that it's just frozen. Go back to
Okay.
bridge and quit it. You seem to have two bridges and two Photoshops.
On my docs, I've got some
you-
very old.
Do you have a
soft-
very older version of Photoshop running
Uh,
and bridge, or is it?
I'm u-
If you
these are
hover over these, if you
2025
hover
that
over
I'm
these,
using.
if you hover over these two, what year are these two? The ones on the right.
Also 2025.
That's weird though. And then you have those there. Something's really weird going on with your computer, Jacob. I think you need to come to my Mac class so I can help you with this. No, I mean it. Something's wrong. You should not have all this going on. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop your share so that we can keep going. And
Thank
then yeah, we need to figure out what's happening there. All right, so just a quick share of what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna take our break. And I said I was gonna help Julia with her files, and then maybe I can even try to help you a little bit again, Jacob. But first, from Bridge, we're gonna go ahead and grab this chameleon that didn't want to be quick actioned because it's a PSD, and we're gonna double click on it, and it's gonna open in Photoshop. All right, and then let me have us clear the space here in Photoshop so that we're all working on the exact same space, and then we'll take our break. So what do I mean by that? When Photoshop first opens up, it'll open up whichever last way you left it. So some of you guys might have been in one workspace or in another. Photoshop has so many tools now that you can open it in different modes. Harry, you need to mute yourself on both sides so that that video, that reverb doesn't happen. So just your second computer needs to be muted as well. All right. So then over here on the far right of our computers, and it's a little bit inverted in space if you're on a Mac than if it's on a PC, but you'll see a little rectangular icon that when you click on it, it'll give you different workspaces. And this is the only one. I need to move my stuff out of the way. So when you click on that, it's going to show you core tools, essentials, motion, page photography. It just has a bunch of different ones. So if I click on essentials, something will show up. If I click on photography, something will show up. If I click on graphic and web. So there's all these different changes that happen to your workspace depending on which one of these workspaces we're in, okay? And so what we want is let's switch over to photography. Let's make sure that we all have the photography workspace turned on. We can visit so many others. The core tools is new from probably this year, 2025, and it opens a certain set of tools. But let's go straight to photography. And then in case others have been working in their photography already, we're going to go back to the same place and we're going to go down, and we're going to say reset photography, reset photography. And when you do that, at this point, your screen should look very similar to mine. And if it looks very, very different, definitely let me know. If it looks similar but not really, then let me know. So when you reset photography, there's going to be certain things here if you have a tiny window that are bigger or smaller, but it should have about the same amount of stuff. If you found where to find your photography workspace, and if you found how to reset it and all is good, then give me a good old yes. And if not, then give me a no, and I'll give you a hand. Okay, and it could be that your histogram is bigger or smaller, or your, properties are bigger or smaller. There's things that can be happening, but in general, you should have the same tools that I have. And if it's quite different, then we need to talk. All right, so I'm going to stop my share. And yes, Colette, can you share your screen?
Come on. I'm on Zoom. Oh, there we are. Here we are.
All right. So
I have this stuff over here in the,
Yeah.
what's that?
I have this stuff here.
Yeah, so that's called presets, and right next to it, there's something called single adjustments, and I'm in that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
click on single adjustments. There we go. So we're
Okay.
going to talk about the presets, but other than that, the tools in general look like they're pretty much the same, so you're good to go.
Okay.
So yeah, that was pretty different, so thanks for pointing that out, but you're good to go. You're in the right spot. I'm gonna stop
Got
your share. Rebecca, you're good now? Okay. I saw that there was a no before. How about Harry? You're
Same
good?
thing.
Everyone's good, and everyone's set up, and Michael's just watching. Okay, so as long as we're all in the right space and everything is good, then I'm going to let everyone go on a break. I'm going to try to help Julia. And was that it? Did anyone else? Oh, and Jacob, I was going to try to help you too. So let me start with Julia. So Jacob, if we're going to give, okay, we're going to do 15 minutes. So
21.
Be back at what's that? At
21.
4:21, 3, what time? 21?
Well, oh, I'm looking at the countdown wrong. Sorry. 40, 54.
Say 3:40. Let's say 55 because I'll be helping people. So
Yeah.
so be back at 3:50 p.m. Okay. See you guys all at 3:50 p.m. except for Julia and Jacob, whom I'm going to give a quick hand.
3:55? Is it 10 minutes or 15?
15. So I got that wrong. You're right. So let's
55.
55. So let me delete that message and let's say 3:55 p.m. All right. See you guys at 3:55. All right. So Julia,
Yeah.
can you the computer that has VDI, you still don't find the Zoom on that
I
one.
cannot find. I minimize the program. I just don't see any link.
And
I
on
just
the dock in the bottom, it's not, it's
Um,
so weird. So you can't share from inside of VDI. You need to share from outside from your own computer. But you are on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
So it's
yeah,
there.
because it
So
shows-
on the bottom, it doesn't say Zoom anywhere. And if you go and search and click on the search and say Zoom,
Yeah, open results. So Zoom, join the Zoom meeting directly, sign in, download, join the meeting.
that is
Mhm.
weird. But you know what we can do?
Takes me to
I
the
can, you can, and you can't even leave if you're not, if you don't see how to get in. Which is not helpful because I can't even help you if you get stuck.
No.
If you can, and yet before you shared because that's how we got on.
It just
So that-
disappeared the whole window. I don't know where it went.
Mm, and in a search, it doesn't pop up. I just thought the search might be the solution. Okay,
No.
so let's do this. You are still actively in VDI because you were just doing Photoshop. You just said yes, so you're good. Okay. So on the desktop of the VDI computer, there's an icon there for Google Chrome. You see that? Inside
yeah.
of the same VI computer. So open that one.
Okay, what are you trying to do, Diane? Because I was able to log into the my SBCC account and open your email and download pictures, and I opened them in Photoshop, so I'm good here.
Oh, so you're good. So you did all that in that
I
one.
just need to find Zoom in case
You need to share. Okay, got it. But you got the files, which is what I was trying to do.
files. Yeah, and I opened them in
In
Photoshop.
Photoshop. Okay, you're good then. So
Good.
now it's Jacob's turn. Oh, but Jacob stepped out.
All right.
That's what I was trying to do. How to find Zoom? I don't know.
Okay.
On the Mac, I can tell you what to do, but on the PC, if you do a search and it doesn't pop up, then, and if it's not on the
Yeah.
bottom,
Yeah. Okay.
you
And
know
maybe
what? Share your other computer with me for a second, because there's one other place where I can point to that I don't know how to say. Jacob, if you're there and hearing me, I'm done with Julia, if you want to come back. Okay, so the place I was going to point to you on a PC, because see how in this one you see it right there? But if it's not there, go to
It's
this
there.
arrow,
go this arrow again.
click on that for a second, this one,
Okay.
and I'm not seeing anything. It should be popping up something. It's not.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And so here, see how Zoom is here as well? Now
Yeah,
go to your other computer and see if you can do the same thing and find Zoom there.
it's not showing up. It's let's
This
see.
this arrow is not showing up.
No, zero is showing up, but there is NVIDIA setting,
That
safety.
Zoom isn't showing up there. That is so weird because you are on Zoom. I can see you in the Zoom, and I can't kick you out so that you can reconnect, because if I kick you out, the way it does it is it thinks that I kicked you out because you're a student who is being a trouble student. If I do that, and then it doesn't let you in again. So I can't do it myself. I can't reject you to have you start again. You need to kick your own self out from that one. But if you can't find Zoom, how can you do that? So that's a real problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it
Well,
will work next
let's
time.
just say that maybe you won't need me to help you. You just figured this one out yourself. So hopefully you won't need me for something else.
The only thing I would like you to tell me, you say, so for the Google Drive, you need to log in log off at the end of a class.
I'll walk you through it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Walk you through it.
Thank you,
You're
Diane.
welcome. All right. So the only one left to help right now is Jacob. Jacob, I'm ready for ya.
Here I
Yeah.
am.
Okay. So let's go ahead and share your screen again, and let me see what I can do about your
Okay.
All right. So first of all, let me see if I can get request remote control again. And this time, let me see if I can make it work. So do you see a thing that says request remote control?
Approve.
Approved. Does it say anything about settings or system settings? No.
It says, do you trust this user? Confirm.
Yeah, confirm. Okay, so now it's telling me to click to start remote control. So let me try it again. Don't move your mouse. And again, it's not letting me. How funny. I've never not been able to do this. It's not letting me. Let me see. Nope. Ugh. That's not good. Because that's whenever I have these kind of problems that are more like file stuff that's not Photoshop, I can just do it for you. I don't do Photoshop for you, but I do file finding for you, but it's not letting me. What is wrong? Let me see if I use this mouse. No. I have, it says that I'm controlling. Okay, use my keyboard layout. Let me see, use Jacob Locker's keyboard layout. Let's see now if I can help you. Nope, that's not helping either. Huh. It's so weird. I've never had this part not work. Okay. So I'm gonna have to try to walk you through it. So let's see. I'm gonna stop the remote control because it's not working anyway. Okay. So now you can use your own.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna try to use this little color thing that I squiggle for you to follow. Okay. Well, first of all, can you have like 85 Lightrooms, PSs, Photoshop? That's but anyway, this is one that we're working with right now, so it's okay. But which is the bridge that we're working with?
The right next to it.
No, because there's no little dot under it.
I had closed it.
Oh, you closed it. Okay, so
Thought
then
it was frozen.
go ahead and open bridge. All right. So now you're in downloads and it's doing the same thing. It's looking for the downloads. That is so weird. Can you go and see anything else? If you go into documents, do you see your documents?
Oh, it's not coming up either.
Yes, documents is coming up.
Pictures are. Oh.
It's weird because here you have content documents and then it says content temp class loads, like it's stuck there. Wonder if, let's go over to essential. Let's go to this little arrow and do a refresh. See this now here. This little double, yeah, click on that. And that's doesn't have a reset. Okay, go to these three little arrows and let's see if there we can do 3 little lines. Reset to save layout. Go ahead and click on that. Reset to save layout. Okay, now click on that temp Photoshop class files.
Double click.
No.
Oh, up here, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. If it's not showing up, it's not showing up. And then click on the downloads down here to see if the downloads pop up. It's like your downloads are not popping up.
Yeah.
But it is giving you access to the document. So there's when you opened Bridge, if you haven't opened it in a while, it would ask you, do you want to give your computer access to folder, and if at any point you said no, then it wouldn't give you access to that. Let me see how we undo that. It's a permissions thing. And I'm trying to remember because it is giving you access to your desktop, but not to your downloads. So let me do a quick search here. And we're going to do, Go to your system privacy. Okay. So can you open your system settings, please? There it is. Okay. Go to privacy and security. Oh, below to control your screen. Go ahead and say zoom to that one. Yeah, click on that and say yes. And you're going to have to put in your computer password. Okay. Modify settings. Okay. And then now select the full disk access. So go back to privacy and security so that it leaves accessibility. Click on that. Yeah, and now go to scroll down. I need to find full disk access option. So
Accessibility.
going down, no, keep going. Full disk access. There it is. It's
I'm
above
sorry.
accessibility. Full one up. Full disk access. One up.
Oh, full disk access. Okay.
Okay. And so you need to give Adobe Bridge 2025. It does, but turn it on and off again. That's Photoshop. Where's Bridge 2025? Oh, it's not here. So you have
Oh.
Bridge 2021, but you don't have it. So let's go ahead and say plus size to that. And let's add. And then go click on Bridge 2025. Click in there. And it's not enough. Now on this one, 2025. There we go. Now say open. Okay. So now let's go down here and let's see if it got added.
Yes.
Go here. Let me go back to this. Yeah. Click there. Huh. Did you click on this? Click again on that.
No, and
And now
open.
click on that. Open. Quit
Okay.
and reopen. Okay. Quit and reopen. Okay. So now let's click on temp Photoshop class files and let's see. There they are. Good. So now
Brilliant.
get rid of all of this. It's just that you didn't have the permissions for that. Okay, so now you can right click and get rid of that. Right click. Oh, you double clicked so it opened. Go ahead and close it. Cancel. And close that. Go into this little X here and close that.
I'm sorry, what am I doing
Yeah,
now?
there's a little X right here. Close that file.
Oh.
Yeah. And now let's go back to Bridge, which is hiding down there. Yep. And then now do a right click on Chameleon. Right click. Right click.
Am I doing it on
No,
this Chameleon or in
right there, right there. We're getting rid of all of these that you put there that we don't
getting
want.
rid of
don't need.
these?
So right click,
click?
remove from favorites.
Okay,
And then right click, remove from favorites.
got it.
And we're going to do that to all of those. And that one. Good. And now you're done. Now you have your class files. And if you go to downloads, you'll be able to see your downloads too, which we couldn't see before. Just don't remove it. No, that one's fine. Just saying click on it and you'll see your downloads. You just didn't have access before. Okay, ready. That was an easy fix-ish. Now click on temp and where we go. And now go back to temp photography class file. Yeah. And now double click on this guy to open in Photoshop and then we're set to go. And now do you
Thank
have
you.
any break left? No, 1 minute. Okay. It's okay. We're
Thank
done.
you very much.
You're welcome. Let me stop your share. And since I do have 1 minute, I will take my 1 minute to go get some water. So tell everyone that I'm coming. Okay. I got my 1 minute break. I need to go get links. Everything is set up. So the kind of fixes that I just had to do are outside of, it doesn't really have that much to do with Photoshop. It's more like permissions and access and stuff like that. And that's why I didn't necessarily want to do it with everyone watching, but it's all up and running. So almost everything is set. Julia is still having issues with Zoom, but other than that, everyone else has their files and life is good. Okay. Cool. Let me drink that I just served myself. All right. Here I go. Okay, so everyone has the Chameleon open in Photoshop? Yep. All right, and we all have the right workspace, so we're good to go. Let me clear your answers. The only thing I didn't get to do is to help Harry with your sound. So whenever you talk, you need to unmute yourself, and then after you're done, mute yourself again so that we don't have the constant reverb, but everything else got fixed. Okay. So that difference between Colette's layout and mine is that she was on this thing called presets instead of single adjustments, and I don't know which one is the default. Probably it's not something that changes, but I'll talk about what these things are anyway. But mine was on single adjustments. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, depending on how big your window is, I don't need us to see this adjustment so big, so I have a ton of them. So see how when I put my mouse on the edge at the end of where these adjustments end and this one, I get a double-headed arrow. I can click and drag and I can see less of them because I want to see a lot of layers, a lot of space and layers. And when we work with these adjustments, we'll open it up. But right now, we don't need that. And I do need a lot of space down here. So the same with this histogram. If it's really big like that I think it started with, you can just grab here and make it a bit smaller. We don't need all that space. And if you have a small window, you really need to make these two pretty tiny so that you can have at least a little bit of space under the layers. All right, if that worked for you and you were able to modify this to have more space, then give me a yes. Over here on the left side, well, first of all, I said that and then I didn't look at your yeses. Is everyone good with modifying things? Now, some of you guys might notice if I put my hand on this line in between these two, I can also make this bigger or smaller. And you want to try to keep this so that you can see it, but it doesn't need to be as big. And then this one too, if I were to make this one big, then it becomes bigger or smaller. You're trying to use the least amount of real estate space for your tools, but you also need to be able to see them. But they're all, you can adjust them to your heart's content. The next thing that might be new for some people like Jacob, who hasn't been here for a while, I mean, you might have been still be using Photoshop, but at least you haven't been in class for a while. And others of you guys who might have stopped using Photoshop for a while, is that there's a really important new toolbar, which is this little guy that's here at the bottom. And it's hanging out at the bottom right now. But if I grab it from this little line here, I can move it around to wherever I want it. It's kind of like a little floating toolbox. And sometimes it's right in the way. You're trying to get to the chameleon's eye and it just right there, we'll just move it out of the way. And if you want to pin it somewhere so it stops moving around, you can choose some spot for it. You can go to these three little dots and you can just say pin the bar position. And then it just will sit there until you move it. Or you can just say reset the bar position and then it goes there automatically. But then as I move around, it's going to follow me. So if I click over here, depending on where I click, it might follow me around. So that's where it defaults. Now this is a new bar. I'm going to move it up here again. It's easier for me to talk about it when it's a little bit higher up to show it. It's a new bar. Well, a couple of versions old by now, but they keep adding new stuff to it. And this is called the, in fact, contextual bar, which it really does change to whatever you need when you need it. So whereas before you had to know exactly which tool to use and when to use it, now, Photoshop does its best to guess that if you are in a certain layer in a certain place, then what you want to do with it is maybe, and it gives you a shortcut to 2 or 3 of the most probable things that you will do with this layer. Now, of course, you might be about to do something totally different, in which case you need to go get your tool. But for the most part, most people who have something like that will start by saying, well, I want to change the color of the background. If so, what you need to do, you need to select it. So boom, you can select it, right? So it's pretty good at guessing what are the things that you might want to do first or second or last. But if it doesn't, then that's fine. You keep going as usual to the tools that you're slowly going to learn. Now,
Diana, I have a question.
yes.
How to find the select subject to remove background? I don't have.
Okay, if you don't have it because at some point maybe you got rid of it, so like I'm going to say hide bar and it's not there, there's two ways to bring it up. One way is to go all the way up to the window, and then at the very bottom of all the choices, there's the contextual taskbar. So you pull it up. That's one way. I'm going to get rid of it again by saying hide bar. The other way works only if you're seeing the image with extra space around it like this, like we have the black. Then I can do a right click there and say show contextual taskbar right there. But say that you are, I'm going to hide it again. Say that you've zoomed in so that you're not seeing that, then you can't really do that one, right? So then you have to go to the window and pull it up that way. But if you're zoomed down, and I'm going to show you now how to zoom up enough that you have some of that white, space around it, then you can say show contextual taskbar. Okay, so that one, the one that for sure works always is to go to window and turn it on. Now notice that some of these things have check marks and some of them don't. So when there are check marks, that means that you're seeing it. If I now were to go over here and reselect contextual taskbar, it would disappear because when you select something that's checked, it unchecks itself. Now that it's unchecked, if I select it again, that will turn it on and it'll come back. Did that make sense to anyone?
Deanna, I don't know if maybe it's just my viewing, but I didn't see when you were saying check here, I just saw you with your little arrow over the chameleon.
You know what? I've seen sometimes that happens you're right. I'm looking at my share. Let me share my entire window then. When I share on the Mac, sometimes the pop-up bars don't show up. So thank you for pointing that out because I'm saying see, and you're like, I'm not saying anything. Thank you. So this is what I meant. That when you go up here to the window, see this little pop-up window that's showing up, for some reason, Zoom wasn't sharing it. So this is where I meant contextual taskbar. You can turn it on or off just by clicking on that once. I turn it off, clicking on it again, it turns on. See that? And then if I see this black space outside of my image, I can right click there and turn it on that way. But when I don't have access to that right click to that space, then the only way to bring it up is by going up to the window and finding it from there. So if you were all able to turn it on and off to bring your contextual, so go to the three dots, hide the bar, and then pull it up again by going to window, contextual taskbar. If that worked, then give me a yes. Yes, Colette?
Yes, I'm just at the top of my screen. You have a bunch of underneath where it names the photo, chameleon, color, PSD. I don't have all of those measurements. Is there something I have turned off, across
Yeah,
the
so
top?
the chameleon color, this there?
Yeah, underneath that, you have measurements there.
Oh, thank you. You're right. That's something that I forget to turn off because normally I have it on for myself and I forgot. Yes,
Okay.
unless you turn it on. Good point. Thank you for pointing these things out that are different. That's the ruler, and I always turn them on, and then when I start class, I forget that it doesn't automatically turn on. I just did it with a shortcut, which is Command R, but you can also go up to View Rulers, and that's seeing the rulers. And for just photography, normally we don't need the rulers. That's what I use for design. So you can have them or not have them, that's okay. But for design, I use the rulers, and that's why it's a Command or Control R shortcut that brings them on and off, or View Rulers, or View, same as before. Turn it, when you select something that has a check mark, you're deselecting it and they turn off. So let's leave them off because there's no need for rulers right now. I do use the rulers when I teach my other classes, but not for straight photography. I don't think, rarely, sometimes, when we put in titles and stuff like that. But right now we don't need the rulers. Okay, So I'm getting yeses from most of you guys, and that was for whether you were able to turn on or off your contextual taskbar, and whether you're able to move it around this way and that way. Now, the whole point of the contextual taskbar is to save you from thinking of where things are. I'm kind of torn about that. As a teacher, I need you to know where things are, because what the contextual taskbar is offering isn't always necessarily what you need to do, right? So I will use it occasionally. Here's what I try to do. I try to show you the real tool to do it, not the real tool, but where it kind of resides. And then to show you, well, here was a shortcut for that same thing. Does that make sense? But there's some things that are not there at all. Because if I go to all these tools, I will not find the word remove background anywhere. The remove background is only in here. So they don't necessarily repeat themselves always. And some very new tool that I doubt anyone in my classes at least hasn't used, because I have never shown it in class because it just showed up over the last whatever month, is this one called Adjust Colors. Now, it's basically the hue saturation adjustment layer that I have used a ton of times in this class, only it's new and improved hue saturation. It still creates an adjustment layer called hue saturation, but it does it quite differently, and it's definitely very much new and improved. And since I kind of want to show you a hue saturation layer anyway, I'm going to be getting to that relatively shortly. But let me look at the time. Yeah, I'm looking at the time to make sure that I will be getting to that. Okay, but I'm going to first show you around a few other basics. Now, everyone who's here said that they'd used Photoshop a little bit or a lot. Let me just see for a second. Michael, are you there? Are you listening in? I know that you were going to do your best, but that you're traveling. I don't know if you can answer.
Yes, I'm here.
There you are. So can you remind me, what your experience is, if any, with Photoshop?
I have a little bit.
A little, okay.
Yeah.
So you've done a little bit of pitter pattering. So this is not completely unknown to you. Okay.
No.
That's good to know. Michael's going to be watching the recording, guys. And so let me talk about that for a second, because Colette and Julia don't know about that. So everyone, bear with me, those of you who do know. But this class is being recorded, as you were told when you signed in. And what's going to happen is that after the class is over, the next day, not that same day, sometimes it's ready by the evening, but for sure by the morning. If you go to the class handouts, and I showed earlier how to get to the class handouts, but don't worry, Michael, I will email you the link this time. So I will email you all the link to the class recordings for the first time this week, because otherwise you might not remember how to get in there. But I'm also going to remind you how to get in here to the shared drive, to the class files, because in the class files, and I'll send you a little video with the reminder of how to get in here to the shared drives, there's a thing called Zoom class recording links, Photoshop Summer 2025. And when I double click on that guy, it's a file, and it has a couple of interesting things in here that I need you to know about. More than a couple, like 5 or 6. One of which is at the very bottom, I have the date of the class, and here I will have a link that will take you to the class recording, and here I will have a link that will take you to the AI summary. So let me show what that AI summary is and when that link is like. Let me go over to, this is the class that I taught a bit earlier today. And here's that same file. They have less links, but here we go. So the class that I taught on Tuesday already has the recording link there and the summary there. So the summary is something that Zoom is doing through artificial intelligence. So let me show you the summary. I'm going to go to the summary of last class for the intro to the Mac. Zoom puts this together. I format it this way for you guys to read, but Zoom is listening to everything I'm saying, and then it's saying, Deanna led a technical trouble to help participants set up and da-da-da-da-da. So it describes what I taught. It doesn't teach it. You can't learn from the text, but you can look at this and go, oh, this is where she talked about how to share my screen. Or this is when she showed us how to access the dashboard. So if you look at this, you'll notice that that's about halfway through the class, right? And that this was at the beginning of the class, right? So then when you go to the Zoom recording, by the way, this always talks in this grandiose, like, Diana did this, Diana did that, Diana guided the students, you know. And whenever it says in the only change that I do is that in the real AI, it'll say, and then she helped Julia with this, or she helped Harry with that. I tried to take all those names away and I just said she helped students, right? So that it's not very personalized, but that's my only change. Other than that, unless it makes an absolute mistake, I don't do any other correction on this thing. So then when you go to the recording, I'm going to click on the recording and then you click on the recording. It takes you to YouTube. First thing you need to know about this YouTube is that it is completely private. Yes, it's on YouTube, which you'd go as the least private thing in the world. But the only people who can access it are people who have this link, which is only you guys, because it's inside of your account, your shared drive to only the students of this class. Does that make sense? So as long as you don't share these links with anyone, you're the only one who can access this video, which shows you when you ask a question. So don't worry, this isn't out into the world for the world to see, but it is there for the students of this class to see. All right, so then in this case, the class is about 4 hours long. And if you figured out in the meeting summary that the part that you missed is over here and you need to figure out how to get to that, then you know that you can probably fast forward to about, you know, halfway there, and there you can start watching that. Or the plumber arrived at the end and you had to leave half an hour early, you can do that. But if you missed the whole thing, then yes, you need to sit through the whole thing. Does that make sense? This was last class that I wasn't home. I was in Cleveland still on Tuesday, so that's why I'm in that background. But anyway, so for those of you who missed the class, it's not only helpful for you to look at this, it is a requirement, meaning if you're not going to be here, please watch the recording. It's fine. It's just a recording. So you will have questions that no one will answer because it's a recording. So write down your questions, try to do the work so that when you join us, you haven't missed a whole week of class, or in that case, 2, because this is a once-a-week class. You will have questions about the class, which I am happy to answer the next time, but you won't be at 0. Does that make sense, you guys? So now that the recordings are available, they're not a suggestion, they are an expectation for anyone who's missed any part of it. And if you've tried to review something because it wasn't working and you were trying to do your homework and you couldn't, then you can just review it. But definitely I welcome you to write down anything that isn't working for you, because you can't ask the video questions. And then on the beginning of the next class, I'm always going to go, okay, any questions from last class? Do a review. This is what we learned. Anything that didn't work, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So your Zoom, this one, the Photoshop one has no links, but it will by tomorrow morning have those 2 links. All right. Now there is a link that I need you to learn right now, which I'm gonna show you to, which is the Padlet. And then there's a class survey here. I don't want to take any more of today's class with a survey, but I am going to give you a link in the email. So please check your emails. I will send an email by tomorrow morning because I need to have these links available. I'm going to put them in the email. I'm going to give you the class recording and the summary because you might forget how to get here. And I'm going to give you the link of how to get here. So by next Thursday, you're expected to practice and know how to get here yourself, because I won't be sending the links every time. But I will also give you the class survey link. So please over this week, do the class survey and know how to get to your class files. For those of you who don't have, so Michael, you said you have Photoshop, right? So you don't need to download it or anything. I think you said you had it. I'm not sure if yes, you have it. Okay, good. So then Julia, you'll have to decide if you're buying it or not, or if you're doing it here inside of VDI, that's good. Everyone else has it. So you're good with that. So now let me take you to the class Padlet. The link will be here, so you can go here during the week to do your homework and click on this during the week. But right now, I'm going to put a link in the chat. So go to the chat, which by the way, everyone has to go to the chat right now. Oh, good. Your question was perfect there, Harry. I see that your question was, am I videoing it? Yes, it's all automatically always turned on. The video is turned on automatic. So can everyone please click on the link that I put in the chat so that you can all get right here. Once you are here, give me a yes. Here is a thing called Padlet. And it says, it's just purple with how to make screenshots. When you've gotten to your Padlet, that means that you found the chat and that you arrived. And good, I just saw a little thumbs up from Michael. Okay, you're here. Michael, see if you can find the green check mark for the yes, because the thumbs up disappears. And then if I look away, I don't see it, versus the green check mark for yes stays on. And then the no is the red X, but right underneath the thumbs up, you'll see the green check mark.
Deanna, where are we picking up the link to the padlock?
I put it in the
padlock?
chat. I'll put it in the chat again. Let me see if you can see it.
Sorry.
You see it pop in there? In the chat?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And you click on there, it works. Now during the week when you're doing homework, you'll find the link right here in this handout in the class Padlet right there. That's the link to it. But for now, it's you just got to it this way. All right. So Moni's already done the first assignment, which is
She added food.
what's that? I know. Yum, yum. Poor little bug. Okay, so the first assignment today is to teach you how to post a screenshot. Because here's the thing. As we're doing the work, so today we haven't done anything to this poor little chameleon. Well, chameleon isn't poor little grasshopper. We haven't done anything to the poor little grasshopper and chameleon yet. But as we progress with the course and we begin to do things to them, I need to see your work for many reasons. A, to know that you're moving forward with me. B, this class is graded, and don't worry about that. As soon as I say that, I hear some panicking. It's graded as in that, oh, let me let Ed Adams in, there we go. It's graded in that I need to give you a pass, no pass. Now, it's a participation kind of grade in the sense that if you're not here and you're not showing me the work, I mean, if you are here, I'm sorry, if I see you here all the time, but you're not showing me your work, how can I tell that you're doing it? You might just be watching TV and looking like you're staring at me. So the only way I know that you're actually doing the work is if I see your screenshots. Does that make sense? So you're going to do a screenshot of the work you've done. And that doesn't matter if it's good, bad, correctly done, or not correctly done. Then I know that I need to help you. But I need to see the work that you're doing. So you're going to do a screenshot and post it in Padlet. Let me show you how to do that. Yeah, Ed?
Can you post the Padlet address again? It was,
Yep.
I'm watching you on one computer and I need to be
Oh.
on the other computer.
I see what you mean. There you go.
Thank you.
Did you get it now? Okay.
Yep.
Great. So if you know how to do screenshots, go for it and do it. If you don't know, I will show you in Mac and then on the PC. So if you're on a Mac, we're going to do Shift Command 4. And when we do that, this little, so Shift Command and 4, and then this little crosshairs turns on. And I'm going to click and drag across the area that I want to screen shoot. So I'm going to just do his head. No, wait. I'm not doing that because Moni just did that. I'm going to do his tail. Screen Command 4, and I'm going to do a little screenshot right there. The moment I let go, that screenshot goes down on a Mac onto my desktop. So now I'm going to go to my Padlet, which you can go again with a link, or if you had it on there, and we're going to post it. Now, notice that over here, Moni wrote that it's Moni. So, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Moni wrote that it's Moni, so I know it's hers. But whoever posted this one, it just says responsible Firefly, the computer invents a name for you. But I don't know who did it. So let me just show you how you're going to get your name on there. I'm going to click on this plus sign down here, which then turns into a pencil. Thing opens up, and under subject, we're going to put your name. So I'm going to put Deanna. You're going to put Moni. You're going to put whoever your name is on subject. And so for whoever is this responsible Firefly, what you're going to do is go back to it for a second, and you can hover over and see how it says edit. Click on edit, and then under subject, you can add your name. That's just for whoever posted that one. Now I'm going to say plus, and I'm going to put my name here again. I'm going to say Deanna. And then For those of you who have a screenshot because the Mac puts it on your desktop, then we're going to click on this first little icon that turns on this upload. And we're going to go to your desktop and you're going to click on your screenshot and you're going to say upload, and there it is. Now, there's not much to say right now, but if it's an assignment where you had to do, you know, a masking, a layer, a filter, or whatever, you will write in here some great stuff about what you did and how you did it. And then you will hit the publish. Okay? So
I'm sorry.
then I'll get to see it. Now I'm going to walk you through it again. Don't worry. I'll walk you through it. This was just like one quick once over. Now, really quickly, who posted this guy? Harry. Okay. So Harry, I'm going to hit the edit over here and I'm going to write your name. Okay. So now I know that you did that one. There you go. But you can do that yourself too. You can hover over this space and it'll say edit and you can do it. Okay. So now, if you figured it out, go for it. If you didn't, I'm going to walk you through it. Colette. Yeah. I thought you had just raised your hand, right?
No,
Or no, it wasn't Colette. Who just raised their hand that they needed help?
but I do need help.
Okay, so let me clear your answers, by the way, and everyone, the moment you're done with your posting, give me a yes, so I know. And if you need help, give me a no. So after helping Colette, I'll help you. All right, Colette, yes. Go ahead and share your screen.
Hell, hold on,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in the Padlet, but
Open the door because it's getting really cold, hot in here. I was here in the middle of winter and it's been 2 months and I haven't been here yet in the summer and it's getting warm. I'm gonna have to bring a fan. Oh, I have a fan. Just set this.
so I have a screenshot. I just don't know how to put it on the Padlet.
Okay, good. So go to the bottom of your Padlet right there was the plus sign. Keep going a bit lower, lower, bit lower. There, oh, it's a little pink, purple circle. Keep going down. Is there something in your way that you don't see it? It's right
There's
here.
something in my way, yeah. Okay, hold on. Everything is in my way there. Okay, I see it now.
Okay, plus sign.
Okay.
Then put your name. Or you can get the screenshot first. Okay.
Okay.
And under subject, please put your name. And then in the future, you will write something about what you did and then you'll submit. Perfect. And I guess you could also give it a name there and then it'll enter your name. That's new. Before it didn't do that. So that's good. Then maybe you got, now I will see your name and you don't have to put it. Yeah, because Colette posted Colette. So that's good. Peggy posted. So that's new. Everyone's done that. Okay, that's good. Before they didn't-
Deanna, I'm not clear on connecting with the Padlet. I don't see the,
Okay, so since this worked, I'm gonna stop you and I'm gonna help Jacob. Let me post this again for a second. If I write hi there in the chat, do you see anything on your computer that now that says hi there?
in the chat?
In the chat, the Zoom chat, do you see that I just wrote hi there? Hello, Jacob. Do you see something that I just wrote that says hello,
Oh,
Jacob?
yeah, I see
Okay.
that.
In that same exact place, I just posted a link.
Okay.
Click on that link. And it should open in your browser. Is that working?
Should I be double clicking that?
No, simply clicking on the link, it should open. Are you on
Click.
2 computers? I'm wondering. No,
no,
you're
just-
on one. So did you find the link though?
It says to everyone.
Yeah, does it say https://padlet.com, Musakyo?
Oh, there we go. I've got it now.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
there's the plus for name. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, let me see. How's it going? Julia, did you post something in the Padlet?
No, I didn't
Okay.
because my Zoom is not on another computer.
Oh,
So I can't.
that's true. But you know what? This is assignment you can do even on your other one. Because this assignment is just about posting. And so you can do it on the one that you have Zoom. Go
Oh,
ahead,
and
take a
it's, and it's,
screenshot of anything. I don't need the
Oh, I see.
chameleon. You can screenshot anything.
I
I see that Michael gave me something else, anything that you find and just post it.
okay. Let me
Okay.
do-
Just to make sure that you know how to do a screenshot. And if you don't, since you're on a PC, I can walk you through that. Here, my first post was how to make screenshots, right? So if you forget during the week when you have to post something, you can also come here and remind yourself. On the Windows, it's Windows key Shift S, and then you paste and stuff like that. Okay. So here's the thing about this is that I actually this is weird. I haven't changed its order. Normally I have it, give me a second. I have it so that the last one is at top, sort by date published. There you go. So now it's the other way around. The last one published is on top. The first one goes to the bottom. And
Anna,
that- whatever
are
you
you,
post. is-
we're not seeing your screen.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just saying, if you look at the Padlet, I shifted it. I wasn't sharing. I was shifted it so that now the last thing published is at the top. So that always the post, you won't have to scroll down to see your new stuff. Rather, the new stuff goes at the top. So Mike was the last one to post, so his is at the top. But this one is still the first thing because that's pinned to the top so that you always have instructions on how to make screenshots. Does that make sense? And then Mike was the last one to post, and down here, Moni was the first one 10 minutes ago. I was 6 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, 3 minutes. Does that make sense? So next one to post, when Julia gets hers posted, or when Jacob gets hers posted, then it'll be here. Is anyone else missing a post? Did everyone, other than Julia?
Diana, can you say again how to put it there on a
Okay, so for the PC, it's a tiny bit different because instead of going on a PC, instead of going to your desktop, you do Windows key, Shift S.
No, I already did a screenshot. How do you put it on a
Okay.
paper?
Oh, all right. So once you do that, then that's a copy. It's not if you did it that way, it copies onto your clipboard. So in that case, you go to where it says write something fantastic and then just do a paste, Control V, and it pastes in. If you did the screenshot that way, but if you did it like saving a file,
Yeah,
then-
save file.
okay, if you saved a file, then you do the same thing. You click on this little icon here and you go find wherever you saved it, because it doesn't go to the desktop. It goes wherever you save it.
Oh, you click on plus. Oh, plus. Load.
And the subject, you put your name
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
and you find it and you post.
Okay.
All right. Is this where you are right now, Mike? Having fun?
And how do you name
Yes.
it?
That's good. All right. How do you name it? Just in the subject matter, write your name.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good. And you might notice that some people are really good about writing a lot of stuff down there and others are not. So in fact, if you might notice, one of our chameleons has a blue background. So Rebecca has already changed the background. And then if she has a bit more time, she can explain what she did. She used that new tool, which is kind of cool. We'll talk about that new tool later. But here we go. Julia just posted something. And then Jacob, how can I help you?
I
Oh, you
didn't
did it.
connect the screenshot with my.
All right, so here, it's very easy. Go to your post over here and hover over this little thing and you'll see that the word edit comes up. So go ahead and hover over your own. And then once the thing is open to edit, then go over here to this first icon that says upload, and then try to go to your desktop to find it. And if you need to share your screen, we can do that. I just want to make sure that everyone knows how to post.
Yeah, I'm going to share.
Okay, so let me stop sharing. I need to stop mine when you try to share and I'm sharing, it doesn't work. So you need to let me know. So I stop mine before you share. Otherwise it doesn't work.
All right.
Okay.
There we go. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. How are we doing?
Okay. From this point.
You did the
this is screen-
screenshot.
this is the
Okay,
screen.
good. Now go to the Padlet, go down here to this purple area, click on this purple area. Yeah, click on it so it comes up. Huh, why is the rest? That's weird. Okay, go to your browser icon for it to come up down there. There we go. All right, so now go back here, hover over this area on your post and it'll say edit. Just put your mouse, yeah, and now click on edit. Good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to click on this first little icon and we're going to upload the photo. Yep. And then go to your desktop because I don't see here where your desktop is showing up. Move this out of the way a little bit. Click this out. Click, go ahead and say done or something so this gets out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah. We need to find your desktop. Ah, you don't have your desktop handy, do you? All right, well, I need to teach you how to do that. Okay, let me help you get your desktop. Click here on Locker. And oh my, you need to take my Mac classes. This is not
I
set up
really
correctly.
do.
Okay,
This is
click on
crazy.
desktop right there. I need to help you with this because this is not, yeah, go over here to the desktop. Yeah, click on the word desktop. Okay, and then go to the S's because it'll be under screenshot. And yeah, come to my Mac classes, come to the next one, the Mac RSS, and the one that you took today. So I don't know, is this 428? No. The last one you took will probably be this one. Ah, stop. Probably this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then say upload. Okay, now I need to help you make your desktop handy because that's supposed to be handy and it wasn't. All right, go ahead and click on the submit because it should be really easy to get to your desktop. So maybe I can say a little bit after class to help you with that, to get your desktop at a
Okay.
click away. Okay. All right,
Thank you.
because that way, otherwise it'll be hard for you to keep posting each time you have to go find it all like that. Okay, great. So everyone posted. Thank you. Colette, yes.
Yeah, the question that I had was, I followed the link here in Zoom
Yeah.
to get
So
to
how
the
do you do
Padlet.
it in between, yeah.
And
So
do
between
you
the
read?
week, yeah,
Huh?
you have to find it from the handouts.
Okay, got it.
So in the handouts, you'll have the Zoom class recording links entered to the Mac. Oh, well, that's.
Oh, okay, I remember. Yeah.
And
no.
then here's the, I was showing you the Mac ones, but yeah, in the Photoshop one of that, there's a link, class Padlet, and here's a
Yeah,
link.
I'm sorry, I remember that now.
No,
Yeah.
no problem, just, it's totally okay. Here we go. So that's the link.
Deanna, I find it very handy during my class sessions just to have it bookmarked on
Yeah, that's
my
true. Yeah, if you've got
computer.
bookmarks, just bookmark this one and that's all you need to do. Or, and if you're on a Safari, you can just drag it over to the corner like that and leave it open and then it stays permanently open. I don't know. There's different things you can do.
Understood.
If you need to go from the scratch to find it, you'll find it in the class handouts. But yeah, bookmark is a great way to go. So you can always come back really easily.
Diana,
Okay.
Yes?
on Safari, you can pin it so that it's the first tab on your
Yeah.
browser every time you open it.
Yeah, you can also do that. You can say pin tab. Oh, sorry. That's not, I'm doing the wrong one. Where's my, here it is. You can right click and pin tab, for example, and it goes over there. See, I didn't pin it the way he said. I just dragged it over, but that's pinning it too over there. But you can also just right click and say pin and it'll head over there. Now I have so many
We can't
pins.
see what you're doing, Diana.
Your screen is not showing.
Oh no, here I'm showing you stuff. Because I had just sorry, I had just stopped I stopped Jacob's share and I forgot that I hadn't started again. All right, so here we go. Let me share my browser and here you go. So you're on Safari, I saw that. So on Safari, you can right click on a tab and it goes over here as pin tab, and it heads over there. Now notice that I already had it pinned because I already have all these pinned over there, so it's stopped there. But if you don't have anything pinned, then it'll go be first, right? So I use these pins quite a bit. I do it this way. I just drag it over to the edge, and that's how I create my pin. But a right-click works as well.
I'm sorry,
And
I
it
have to
also
step
creates-
out for just a moment.
That's fine. All right, so guys, there we go. I just want to make sure that anyone knows how to do this. Now, the way homework is gonna come, and not come, how I'm gonna tell you about the homework is I'm gonna post here, pinned to the top. I'll have another post that has your homework. So let me go ahead and show you another tab. Like this is last week's Photoshop, last year's Photoshop or something. So here it says homework day 1, homework day 2, is homework day 3. So it's going to look like this, right? So I'm going to make a Padlet post. And in fact, this is going to be relatively similar to this one. So I'm going to edit it. But so you'll have, this isn't 100% correct, but this is an example of homework day 1, right? And then homework day 2 homework. So if you ever want to know what the homework is, come to the Padlet and it'll tell you. The better way to see what the homework is these AI summaries, because the AI summaries at the very top, it says next steps. And AI is really good at picking out from everything I've been saying and to put in here things that you need to do. So it'll say, watch any missed portions of the recording. I didn't write that. It's just, you know, it's AI knowing that I told you guys to do that. Or complete the class survey, right? So the AI under next steps tends to have a pretty good idea of what the homework is. Does that make sense? Now, the homework will usually be practice something that we did using your own images, because you see that in class, 90% of the time we will use my images or sample images. They're not necessarily mine that I photograph, but sometimes they are. And since I did some great photos this week, this trip, I'm going to see if I can go through some of those and add some of those trip photos. But what I want you to do, so now I'm looking at you guys, my goal in teaching is not to give you a bad photo and have everyone make it good and have you guys have a one good, great photo. That's never my goal. This is my goal. A lot of people are like, oh, I walk out of this class with a good photo, but no, that's not my goal. My goal is that you apply the technique, the tool that I taught you on a generic photo, mine or someone else's, and then I need you to do that to one of your photos. Does that make sense? So if I just taught you how to change the color of the sky, go and change the color of sky of one of your photos, or download something from the internet if you don't have one and change the color of sky of that photo from the internet. But my goal is that you apply the tools and techniques, because it's one thing when I'm leading you, and it's another thing to have to fly solo. And that's where you learn. Between Thursday and Thursday, flying solo is where you learn, because sometimes you'll succeed and you'll post a great photo and everyone will be like, yay. And sometimes you won't succeed and you'll post a failure. I tried to do this and it didn't work. And guess what? That's when you'll actually learn more, because then I'll see that you'll tell me, I tried to do this, but that thing didn't work and this thing. And so then I might respond to you and you can then fix it. Or in class, the first moment we start next Thursday, I'm sorry, is me saying, all right, guys, how did it go? What worked? What didn't work? What did you do? And we'll review the photos that you posted as homework. And I'll have some feedback and we'll move forward. And then if the feedback is extensive, you can redo it and post it. But it's not because you'll get a bad grade. It's because you're learning how to change that. Does that make sense? So the more stuff you post, the more you learn. The more feedback I can give you on stuff that you're doing on your own. If you're doing extra stuff outside that doesn't include the skill that I taught you, but you happen to have flown solo and done something else, please post it and show us. Again, I'll have feedback for you. I'm always happy to give you feedback. Good, bad feedback doesn't mean criticism. Just sometimes it'll be, wow, this is amazing. Other times like, well, have you thought doing it this way? But if you would rather post stuff without me saying anything because you don't want to hear me saying anything, please tell me, hey, I just want you guys to see this, but I don't need feedback on it. I'm more than happy for you to just enjoy it. I'd love to do that and enjoy your photos. Okay. All right. You didn't see edit, says Harry. Okay. It doesn't say edit. You need to put your mouse over it for it to say edit. So let me show you. Nothing says edit here, but if I put my mouse over these three dots, see how then it says edit? So I go to mine. When I put my mouse there, it says edit. Okay, so you need to activate the edit. Otherwise, it doesn't say edit. You need to touch these three dots and then it says edit. Did you find it now, Harry? Yeah. Go ahead and nod because I don't hear you because you're zoomed off. Yes or no? Harry, did you find it? Yeah? No. Okay. So let's go to your post that says responsible Firefly, Harry. Put your mouse over this and hover, just put your mouse over these three little dots, and then you'll see that the edit appears. Because see how there's no edit right now? But if I go put my mouse over these three dots, the little edit appears. So that's what you need to do. Is that good? Did it work this time? No. Okay, so share your screen then. And I welcome any photos that you want to put in there. Sometimes the photos that get put in there are so perfect for teaching that I might even say, hey, can I use this for the class to teach the class? And if you say no, that's fine. And if you say yes, then it can become a class file that we all get to use. Do you remember how to share your screen, Harry? Or do you want me to walk you through it? I can't hear you. Go ahead and unmute yourself on one of your devices. Oh, you're sharing. Okay. So you need to head over to your Padlet. Do you have it in the history since you already did post, or?
I have another computer.
Oh, well, if it's on the other computer, I can't help you. So
Okay, I'll find out if I'll try. Thank you.
Okay, go find the three little dots. The three little dots up right next to your post. When you touch them, you'll see that the edit will appear. All right, Rebecca.
That was sort of my question is on the Padlet, we want to make sure they're screenshots, not putting photos in.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great question. If you upload your file, so say I make a post and instead of uploading a screenshot, I upload an actual file, say a PSD, right? Then what's going to happen, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to upload this file for a second. First of all, so this is a test upload a file. So
I
that
don't see your screen.
Yeah, I'm going to, oh, thank you for saying that. I stopped because Harry was sharing and then I forgot. Okay, here we go. So I just uploaded a file over there. And all I did was instead of uploading the screenshot, I chose an actual file, which is a PSD. So here's the problem with that. First of all, if you upload a screenshot, I can click on it. It gets a little bit bigger. I can see your work. I can make comments on it. It's good. It stays there. So I click on this one and I can say something to Colette. I click on this one. I can say something to Mike. Life is good. But if I try to click on a PSD, it doesn't upload. It downloads into my computer. So then your file will download into my computer, which is bad for a few reasons. First of all, then I have to go find it. Then I have to open it in Photoshop. And B, you might have a virus on your computer and you're just giving it to me. And I don't want your viruses, sorry. So ideally, don't upload a file because when I try to click on it to see it, I can't see it. It opens up in Photoshop and it doesn't open up. And here I am with your file in my computer, which is never the idea. So if you did do it, then no big deal. But I'll remind you to upload just a screenshot. So I'm going to get rid of this one. But if perchance you tell me here, yes, you can use this for class, what if I say, Mike, can I use this for class? It's pretty perfect for this. And he says, yes, then I'll ask you to send me, either email me or upload the full on file. So then people can download it and we'll use it as a sample photo. And it's happened once or twice that it's been great. Okay. To use it. So anyway, I just want to stop my share for a second and acknowledge that Sharon just showed up. Hi, Sharon.
Hello.
Nice to see you. 1 minute before class is over. No, not 1 minute. 4:45, 10 minutes before class is over. I know that you had mentioned that you couldn't make it and that you'd make it at the very end. So thank you. Welcome. Hi.
Hello.
So,
Okay, second part, how would we send you a photo? Because I tried before last class and I didn't manage it.
yeah, that's true. You were trying to send me one and you couldn't
Waterfall.
email it. Was it because it was, no, you were able to send me the waterfall, but it didn't come with the effects. But that's a different story. I did get your photo. I just didn't get it with the effect you made. I just got it as a regular photo.
Oh, I thought that's what you
Yeah.
wanted so that you could show people how to do the long exposure.
No, because unless it comes in as a live photo, I can't turn it into a long exposure.
Oh,
Ah, so this is a whole different class that she took where we were doing a whole nother thing and I needed an effect on it. And so everyone else just, it doesn't matter to this class, but it was my photos class where I teach people how to handle the photos that are on a Mac, on a phone, on your computer, and it came with an
Mhm.
effect and she couldn't send the effect to me. But no, other than that, you can just attach it to an email and it'll work. Or you can post it up here in the, you can
In
upload it as a file into the Padlet, but the photos class doesn't have a Padlet, the Photoshop does.
Should we put a little warning on top? So,
This is a file, no, it's fine because I can see it's a file. So
okay.
that's great. So if you don't remember how to do a screenshot or something and you upload an actual file, then that's fine. Then I'll just know and next time to, okay. So yeah. So let's go back. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so any other questions about Padlet, you guys? Nope. You're all good with Padlet? And I know, Sharon, that you got to start from zero, but okay, let me just really quickly catch up with you, Sharon, for a second. Do you have Photoshop installed? Or are you going to use VDI or what's
I
up?
should be able to access it maybe within a week.
Okay, but like you're going to buy it
No,
or?
before, it's another school. I'm also taking Photoshop from another school, and they provide it for free. It's
Okay,
just a new semester has started, so they haven't
it will
activated
take
the
a little
license
bit.
yet.
Okay, great. And I'm only asking because otherwise you, in the email that I sent you, you have the information of how to get that with the school and all that, SU VDI. But okay, if you're set with that, then by Thursday you'll have it, then that's good. So a lot of the first part of today's class was how to get Photoshop and all that. So you don't need to do that. But yeah, then when we started working with Photoshop, you can watch the recording. So I showed everyone how to find the class recordings, how to class files. So I'm going to send an email to everyone with a link to a video to show you how to get to the class handouts. And just for this week, I will actually send you the link to the class recording because I always know there's things like this happening where people haven't heard the whole thing. So I'll send you that and I'll send you the link to the class survey. Okay. And then I want you to, as homework, to do some of the things that we talked about. But now I'm going to share again the Photoshop and Bridge. Okay, so we're going to go back to Photoshop where we had this file open, and we have just a couple of minutes left for us to do one thing to this little chameleon. And then we're going to post that thing that we do to the chameleon, and then that'll be the end of the day. Okay. So what we're going to do to this little guy is that we're going to change the color of the background and the color of the chameleon with the new tool, the new tool that came out barely a couple of weeks ago. I don't know, maybe a month ago. It's very new and it's hovering right here and it's adjust colors and it's a different, for those of you who've used hue saturation before, this is a new way for hue saturation to work. So I'm going to click on this thing that says adjust colors. And notice that this little bar appeared and appears here at the bottom. I'm going to pull it up top so that I can show it to you a bit better, but it popped up down here. And this adjust colors happens to have chosen the main set of colors that appear in this image. It's a pretty limited palette, so it gets to have some brown, 3 tones of green, and 2 tones of pink. Pretty cool. So now, without having to do all of the complicated masking and all of the issues that we've had to do in the past, I can just say, well, I just want to change the pink. I'm going to click the pink. And then you might recognize this from hue saturation from other times. The hue is equivalent to the word color. I can then flip this around and change the color of the background. It seems almost like by magic. Now notice that if I want to make it more saturated, I can still go over here. If I want to go find like, you know, a deeper blue, I might have to go darken the blue or lighten the blue, give it more saturation, but it's not absolutely perfect because when I go for a real extreme color like this, see how I'm getting this kind of a line around things? So be careful because even though it's really good, there's a limit to how much you can change a color before beginning to really mess it up. And so the fact that I had saturated and darkened it is what really gave me that weird, see what I mean here? This little edge line that's happening over there. So anyway, we're gonna play. So it's good to do changes in colors, but you don't want to do like extreme stuff to the top of my head. So if you made extreme adjustments, the way to bring them back down to the middle is to do a little double click and a little double click right there and a little double click right there, and it goes back to how it was. Now I'm just going to change the hue to something very different because I want to show you something cool. Over here, this is something cool that the hue saturation before didn't have. It shows you the original color and the new color. And why that's cool is because in the saturation that we had before, when we changed this to green, people then thought it was green and then they wanted to change the green back to yellow. But it wasn't. It's still really pink. It's Photoshop changing the pink to green and then the pink to yellow and then the pink to blue, but it still is pink. Like it doesn't change the color of the pixels. This is one of those examples that I'm going to teach you about non-destructive modification, where the original color stays the original color. Now I'm going to grab one of the greens. I'm going to grab this middle green and I'm going to change the middle green and see how it's targeting now the chameleon and making parts of him. But if I go over here to the red, see how I still have some green spots in there? It's because I only did the dark green, and that is probably the light green, and then I would change the light green or I would change the dark green anyway. So we can do a lot of changes in here to this thing without masking, without doing anything else. And it's kind of funky and fun. Sometimes it's pretty miraculous and sometimes it's a bit like, I don't know, kind of weird what happened there. But for the most part, it is much easier to use. And I just wanted to show you that. So I've changed him completely from what he was before, from a pink background and a green chameleon to something totally different. Now, notice on the right side of your screen, where we used to have only a background layer, now we have a new layer, which for those of you guys who are accustomed to hue saturation, it's a hue saturation layer, just like we used to do. For those of you who've never seen this, guess what? You just made a new thing called a hue saturation layer by using that little tool. And if you don't want to see the changes, you want to see how it used to look, see this little eyeball over here? You can click on this eyeball and there's what it used to look like. And here's what it looks like now. So this is on and off the effect. So this is a non-destructive modification because my original always stays the same and the changes are done on a layer on top. And this is how we're going to learn to operate everything in Photoshop, because it's not the same to change a pink to a green than it is if I had changed it to green and then wanted to change it to blue and then go back to pink. I would never get the same pink. You can't go back to the original. You have modified the pixels and ruined their quality. By doing it in a non-destructive way, you don't ruin the quality. You just turn it off and you're back to the original. So we're going to try to do this all in multiple layers. Now this file has to be saved as a layered file. I'm aware that we're at 455. I'm going to have you guys do a screenshot of this. Save this file by doing Command S. So File, Save. It's already a layered file. It was already a PSD. So you're going to get this message saying maximize compatibility. We'll talk more about why it's good or bad. It's good. Say okay. And then do a screenshot and post it. While you're doing that, I'm going to answer Colette's question. But I'm going to go ahead and do my little screenshot of this and demo it. So there we go. I'm doing a little screenshot. Then I'm going to our handy dandy Padlet. I'm going to do a little plus sign. I'm going to say Diana, and I am going to post this, which is in my desktop. And then when I have a second, I'll be more specific, but I'm going to say I used the new adjust layers, adjust colors, sorry, tool that lives in the contextual bar or contextual palette, I think it's called, that it created a hue saturation non-destructive layer. And we're going to talk much more about how else we can do all these things, but for now, I'm going to publish that. And there you go. That's the homework. Okay. So now I'm going to stop my share and I see two hands. Well, Colette, your hand was up and you brought it down. Is there no more question or?
No,
did it-
no more question.
No more question. All right. Ed?
I've got the class going to 5:55. You're making it sound like it's 4:55.
It is 4:55.
That wasn't what showed up on the my registration thing from City College.
Oh. Am I wrong? What does everyone else have?
I may be wrong, but I'm just
No,
saying.
no. I'm fine. Let me go find out because sometimes these things are. Let me go to
My class schedule says 4:50.
4:50, not even 4:55. Let's see, class schedule search. Let's see, guys, what's the right answer here? And that's interesting because I remember Sharon asking me, is this class finish at 4:55? And I'm like, yeah, but I guess I should have checked the schedule. Summer, non-credit, select. And I'm going to put my last name here, say search, and here are all my classes. Let's go down to the Photoshop one. It ends at 4:55 p.m. I am so glad now and then to be right, Ed.
You're right. I'm sorry.
So many times.
But I wrote it changed because I actually do it. Anyway, doesn't matter.
No, most of the times when Ed and I have he's right so many times that I'm like kind of glorifying over the fact that this time I was right.
My dog will be happy my dog will be as happy as 4:55 because they have to feed him at 5.
All right. Well, I'm glad to know that your dog will be happy. Guys, I always check because I do tend to sometimes make mistakes. I'll be like droning and people like, didn't the class finish half an hour ago? And I'm like, no. All right. So that's the schedule. It's 1:30 to 4:55, you guys. And this time, for the first time almost ever on the schedule, I am right. Okay. So I don't like to keep people past that. I'm sorry that I did, but here's the deal. I'm always happy to stay behind and answer questions. So if you need to go, please go. Do the posts, watch for your emails. Well, I'll send you the video about how to get to the recordings. Watch for the email that it will also give you the link to the survey. Please fill a survey and it'll give you a link to the Padlet. Please post your work on the Padlet. Okay. And other than that, be ready with your Photoshop and Bridge. And if I manage to get the class files set up ahead of time, I will email you to have you guys download the files during the week so that by Thursday, you guys have the full set of class files available, ready to go. Okay. That's it. You can hang out for other questions or you can leave and I'll see you all in a week, but this is officially the end of it. And now I will answer questions. So yes, Colette.
Yeah, so I keep losing the contextual
Bar.
taskbar.
Okay.
And I know you were covering that earlier, but
Yeah. So head up to the word window.
yeah.
And when
No,
you
it's
click on that,
showing now.
click on 'em. Okay,
Maybe
share your screen
I'm
and
gonna
we'll
share
turn it on
my
and off.
screen
Share your
because
screen and we'll turn it on and off and I'll show you how to do it.
I lost it moving it around.
You're
and I-
welcome, Michael. My
then I
patience is
couldn't-
only tested by my kids, not by my students. All right.
So,
Okay, so do you see up here where right above your computer, I kind of where I'm saying there's the word window?
yeah, hold on,
Okay.
I lost
Go
my.
ahead and click
Okay.
on that. Yeah, click on that window. And there, that means that it's on.
Yes.
There's a check mark and you're right, it's on. So now click on that and you'll see that it turns off.
Yeah.
And now your bar
Earlier-
disappeared. See how it
Go ahead.
disappeared? So you use that to turn it both on and off.
Right, and I was doing that, but when you were working earlier, I had moved it using this
Uh-huh.
and I couldn't find it. It was
Oh,
like,
okay. So it's possible that you moved it like out, like you put it under the desk, under the dock or something like that.
oh,
If you
okay.
did that, no, go ahead and grab it and put it in a place that's almost impossible. Put it like you just did, really down on, yeah,
Oh,
like you
think-
barely see it or yeah. So when you do that, see how you left it out of the way?
Yeah,
It's there,
yeah.
but it's not there. Then the best solution is to turn it on and off again. So go to the window and see if it's on or not by seeing if it's a check mark. It's on. So turn it off and now go to window and turn it on again. And now it will appear in, see how it appeared kind of barely there, but it's there.
Yeah, yeah,
Right
I
up
see it now.
And then
Okay.
plan B to turn it on and off. Remember what plan B was?
No, that was the one that I missed.
Okay, so the plan B is go over to these three little dots
Okay.
and now say hide bar. And now right click on this black area, anywhere on the black, not just when I did, and say show contextual text bar.
Okay. I got
Okay.
it.
But this only works if you have this area, this black space. When you're zoomed into the chameleon and you don't see black space, then the only option is to go up to the window.
Okay.
Because you
Okay.
just don't have that choice otherwise. All right. All right, perfect. Thanks for
Thank you.
asking. All right, Julia.
Yeah, so on my other computer, I saved a modified file, but it looked like it's saved on my computer, not on
Oh, good point. Yeah, you can't save it to your computer. You can't save it to your computer. You have to save it. You saved it to the school computer on VDI. But the
Right.
school computer sometimes will have it or sometimes won't. So you need to put it into your Google Files, which I was going to walk you through it, but you can't share that screen. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So go ahead and say File Save, and I'll walk you through it. I'll talk you through it.
Okay,
Go ahead and say File Save.
just a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops.
Whenever I say that I answer questions at the end, I don't teach new things. Okay, this is officially class is over. If you want to go, go. But if you stayed to learn, that's fine. But I never teach new things, so it's not like you're missing stuff. You're here because you want to learn more. That's great. But I stopped teaching at the time that I did teach. Okay, so
Okay,
did you do the
file
file save?
Mhm.
Okay, now on the left side, look for this PC.
This PC, okay.
Now, do you see Google Drive?
Nope.
Okay, so maybe you've dropped the Google Drive because remember, because you haven't been using it for a while. So if under this PC, the Google Drive isn't showing up. And but you are inside of VDI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if inside of VDI, you're not seeing this PC, so you're seeing Google Drive, then it's probably been lost. So go ahead and for now, save it to the desktop of the VDI. Usually once a week at the beginning of the semester, it's still good. After a while, when the files get really big, the school just erases everything. But I don't think the first few weeks that there's much on it. It should still be there next week. But if it's not, what we did is so easy to do again that it's not a big deal if you lose this file.
So
So just say save to the desktop.
Save as to my desktop, to computer.
Not to your computers. You cannot connect from VDI to your computer. If you're in VDI, it'll save to the VDI computer's desktop.
It doesn't give me options, it just shows my computer.
Exactly.
Save
It's
it.
my computer, but just so you know, it's your school computer. So it says my computer, but it's not really yours. If you look in that desktop documents, you won't find your files. It's the school's
Right.
computer when you're in VDI.
Well, I think maybe I'm not doing it right. How do you print screen again? Can you tell me a shortcut how you do it?
Oh, to get the screenshot.
Let me see.
Shift, yeah, it's shift. It's Windows key. I don't have it. You have it. The Windows key, the one that has a logo.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Windows key, Shift S.
Shift S.
Windows key, Shift S.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I did
That copied. Then you go inside of the Padlet, and then you go to the Padlet and you go to where it says write something nice here, and you do the shortcut, which is Control V. You know the shortcut for pasting?
My Padlet is on another computer. I have a mess here. I'm sorry.
When you're in VDI, you need to have everything inside of VDI. Your Padlet, your computer, everything has to live inside of VDI.
Yeah. So how do I turn off? How do I log off the Google Drive? Or
Well, it looks like you didn't have it.
I already did it. If I need to, how do I log in?
Okay. Let me just share with you. Hold on.
Okay.
Here's my 1 second. Here's my share of the class handouts. Okay. So in the same folder where I'm going to send it to you, but in the same folder with how do you use VDI if you don't have the Creative Cloud, then in that same one, I walk you through how to sign in and how to sign out with and without Google. Okay. So I'm going to send you this link. Watch this link and it shows you how to sign in and sign into Google Drive. And then at the end of class, how to sign out of Google Drive. Okay. So I'll send you this video. No one else is on VDI, so she's the only one who needs it, so I'll only send it to her. Everyone else has your own computers, so you won't get this link. Everyone else will get the Padlet, the survey, and how to access the class handouts. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Diana.
You're welcome.
And very quick thing.
What you need to do is when you're done with VDI now and you sign out, you'll probably sign out incorrectly. You know what? Here, let me do this. Copy. Let me put it in the chat. You can open it up. Here's the video. Click on that link. Open it up. This is just for people who use VDI. So in this case, it's only Julia. There you go. Oh, I sent it. Hold on. I sent it just to Colette. There it goes again. You see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, click on that link. Open that video up. And then when the class is over, don't leave VDI. Watch the video and watch how to close up because it's like 4 steps. And if you close up wrong, no big deal. Watch the video, open it up again and close it up again, right? Like practice that. So the homework for you in particular will be get in and out of VDI correctly with the Google Live. But at this point, I'm more concerned about the fact that you're not getting our shared files at all.
Yeah,
Everybody got them but you. So if you still don't get them, you need to go, you didn't see it, but in the email that I sent you today, at the bottom of that email, there's how to get in touch with tech support.
Okay.
And in the very bottom of that email, tech support, you need to call and say, my whole class can see the shared files, but I can't. And be careful, it's not shared with me, it's shared drives. The shared drives is where my files are. And sometimes people at tech support have shown people how to get to shared with me. That's not it. It's shared drives.
Shared drives.
Let me share this one more time with you. It's here, let me just show you. It's many people can get easily to shared with me, but what you're not seeing is the shared drives. When you go to shared drives, you should be seeing the Photoshop shared drive and you're not seeing it. Okay?
Right.
You're
Okay.
seeing the Excel from 2022. So something's there, but not what I'm giving you. So, and the rest of the class has it. So it could be your late registration, but I don't, but now, by now it's been, many hours. So it should be in by now. So something's happening and that I can't help you with. It has to be tech support.
Tech support. Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Diana. Thank you.
You're
for-
welcome. You're welcome. All right. Anything else I can help you with? Maybe
Deanna,
Jacob?
do you have a little stamina left to
I have a little bit
tell
left.
me
in
how
the
to,
hours.
do you have just a bit?
I'm still on East Coast time.
Oh, it's gotta be difficult.
No,
Wow.
that's no problem.
It's
In fact,
not
I was a few
showing
days
at
ago, I
all.
was on Spain time, 12 hours difference. So I'm slowly adjusting. It's
wow.
it's like 4 a.m. for my brain.
Oh, wow.
So,
Just
Jacob,
the desktop where I don't have an easy access to it.
oh, that's true. Share your
But-
screen, and I hope this time I can help you, but maybe because I just gave you turned on that feature, maybe I can give you a hand this time.
Okay.
Okay, so let me try again one more time, the request remote control, since we did change that stuff. Maybe this time I'll be able to do it.
Okay, and confirm.
Okay, now don't move your mouse and let's hope this time I can do something with you. Let me see. Oh, yes, I can do it. Yes,
Well
I
done.
can work on your
Good,
computer
good.
now. Good. All right, that's really good. So now you're still going to have to help me because there's some things I cannot do. I'm going to quit Photoshop for a second here and it'll ask me to save and I'm going to say don't save, okay? Because none of this really matters too much, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So for those of you who are watching, I'm trying to help Jacob with something that's completely not part of today's class. This is just part of his how he's using his Mac computer, and I had to set something up for his desktop finder and stuff like that. So this is not, and I'm going to close your bridge. This is not Photoshop, so to say. Manifold, so quit and reopen. Well, I'll just say later. Or I'll say quit and reopen, okay? You might need to click on this one yourself because I can't actually make that one activate. So can you say
Okay.
quit and,
Just quit on this?
or actually just say later. Just go to the choice of later and it'll do it later.
Late, where would that be?
Oh, aren't you seeing Adobe Bridge will not have full quit that? You're not seeing that? You probably have Zoom in the way. Do you see these choices? No. Okay, then don't worry about those choices. If
Oh,
you,
okay, okay.
oh, you do see
Later.
them. Okay, say later. Okay, great. Now over here, go ahead and do it again because I do need you to have access. So go over here to Zoom and give it a click. Okay, so now say quit and reopen.
Okay.
And say quit and reopen again. Okay. And that should stay. Okay. It's a bit confused because you have all these different versions. Okay, now you can now don't do anything. Get your mouse out of the way for a second while because if two mouses are working at the same time, it doesn't let me work. Okay, and then over, oh, there's one more you should turn on here. Can you turn this one on? Do you see the US Zoom? Yeah, that one.
Yep, got it.
Okay, good. All right, so now don't move your mouse again. And here's what I need to do. I need to give you the desktop access. Let me make you this a little bit bigger. And I'm going to go over here. And so, Jacob, I mean it. Do you think you have the time to take my Mac class? Because
It looks like I need
90% of what you have here is really, really not, I mean, your computer,
not kosher.
not kosher at
I know.
all these files, every single one of these files that I'm handling are in your system folder and they shouldn't be in your system folder. They
should be in pictures of document folder.
They should be in your documents folder, yeah. So it makes
For
it
years I was doing that wrong. Yeah, I know
yeah,
that.
that's okay. But anyway, I'm just kind of closing it up a little bit.
Okay.
And okay, so now I need to find your desktop. So let me go all the way up. And let me get to your desktop folder. I needed to close a little bit to see things, but there it is. So your desktop, I'm going to drag it out here. And this is just creating a little shortcut for it. Okay. So now you can just click on that and it goes to just your desktop files. But the problem with this is that when you make a screenshot, so since it's going to go and save itself as by alphabetical order on your desktop, and it should be easy to access your desktop because your desktop should have maybe 1 to 10 things max. But since you have, look at everything that you have, in fact, you have double things on top of double, you still have to scroll down, you know, forever to find that S. So I think that you still might have to, each time you upload, like when you go to Padlet, whenever you come in here, you're still going to have to go down that, unless, and I'm going to show you this as a choice, which you don't need to do, but go ahead and where was your Padlet, in Safari, or what were you using for Padlet? Was it Safari or what browser?
This is Safari, yeah.
Safari, okay. I'm going to open Safari again for a second. And once it's open, let me wait until it opens up. See, I'm worried. Are you using all of these different Lightroom and Bridge and things icons anymore?
Well, Lightroom Classic, an old one, and I've got a real problem with that. The new Lightroom Classic doesn't recognize my previous Lightroom catalogs. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a mess. The Lightroom is yeah, it's a mess. Okay. So now let's go to the Padlet, which in the history you should just have it because you were just there. Here it is. If you're not using all of these constantly, then just know that each one of these is equivalent to an open website and that they're slowing you down. So you might want to get rid of them because it's as if you had all these tabs open.
Okay.
So, you know, and see how slowly everything is responding? It's because look at how many websites you have open.
And
Each
I do
one of
have a
these-
lot of tabs open. Yeah.
But this isn't even tabs. This is a new window. Each one of these is a new window. And when you click on each one of these new windows, you might have more tabs open inside of that window, right? Like this one. So you might want to start opening and closing some of these because your whole computer is slowing down. Like I can't look at that. The Padlet doesn't even show me the images yet. And that's because it's really overtaxed.
Okay.
So look at that. It's going to take forever to download the photo.
And overtaxed because of these open windows and these.
Yeah. Look at each one of these is a new window. Who knows how many tabs you have open in each window? Here you have 2, right? So if you're not using this today to make scrambled eggs, make a bookmark or something like that, and then close it, but don't leave them open. Okay. So I'm not going to close it for you because you might be doing that today. You might be eating those scrambled eggs, but you open each one of these. And if you don't need them immediately, close them up. And then here, if you're using this one right now, like that, then leave it there. But if you're not, because it's an article that you already read and you just left it up, see how long it's taking? This should come in immediately. So then you can, and I'm going to assume maybe that you don't want this one, and I'm going to put it back. If you do, you can go over here, open it up again, and then close that tab. If you want to keep it, I'm not going to make that choice for you. I'm going to put it back in here as if you want it, and then you need to do that. You need to.
I got it. I will.
Do that to those. I have
stuff.
5 or 6, but that I use 20 times a day. But anything else than that is just your computer is strong and powerful. It should not be doing this. But another reason this is doing this is because of your desktop being so full of stuff. Because your computer needs to operate off your desktop, and your desktop is too full for it to work. Now let me go over to, no, I didn't want the time machine. Let me cancel that. I wanted what's next to it, which is the system settings. Let me look for a second in your storage space. See how you're doing. Okay, so you have one, so you still have a lot of space, so your computer isn't hurting in that sense because you have a lot of empty space. You have it 2 terabytes worth of stuff, but the problem is where you have all that stuff. You have all that stuff in your desktop, which slows it down. and it's probably impossible for you to handle and deal with because who knows where all this stuff is. So I'm happy to help you that, but in the Mac class, in the intro to the Mac is happening
Okay.
right now, and Mac level 1, I specifically deal with file management.
Oh,
So if you
okay.
if you want to take that one, it starts in a couple of weeks. Okay.
Okay.
But
I'll take
now
a
it
look at
finally resolved, and here it is. So now when you go and do a plus to upload something, so this is test. I'm gonna just say test for Jacob. You can get rid of this one later. When you go upload, even though you have the desktop now to go to quickly, which is much better than before, you still have to scroll all the way down to the S. So what I'm going to do for you right now, I'm going to change this to date last opened. And so now the only thing that shows at the top are today's screenshots. You see that? So then it's
Yep.
really easy to click on that one and post that one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Well, that
Yes.
won't affect you. Your Finder window will still be organized the way you want it, but for any uploads, that'll make life much easier.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So why don't you do one now? Go ahead and I've shown you how to do it. Let me see if it stayed. So go to that plus sign. I stopped moving my mouse, so it's all you now.
Okay. So I am.
Go to the plus sign first, right there. Yep. And now go and upload a file. It doesn't matter if you put a subject now. We're just saying if you can find the file easily. So go to the upload. And now see how, as long as you click the desktop, and if you're in documents or whatever, all you need to do on the left side is just click on the word desktop. And
Okay.
then that'll prioritize the ones that you just made. And
Okay.
then you can put your name as your subject and then hit submit.
Okay.
And then that's the first homework. Put your name in there. That way you don't have to keep putting your name. Just put Jacob instead of Grateful Mongoose. Creative Blogger, perfect. Yay. And then now you can do the submit and perfect. There it is.
Okay.
You just popped in. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for your generosity and time.
Oh, you are welcome. You're
I
very
need to do a lot of thinning out and
well.
weeding.
You know,
Yeah,
if
and-
you come to my class, I can help get you some pretty quick tricks like the one I just did to help you access those
Yeah,
screenshots where
yeah.
you can at least get a handle on it. And then, yeah, you do need to do some work of organizing, but I basically,
is it online or?
meeting. Yeah. Right now I'm teaching the intro, which is twice a
Okay.
week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 weeks in a row. So it's 6 classes. When that's over, the Mac level 1 starts. And the if you have time to come to the one now, of course, that's great too. Here, let me see if there's a spot in the class. I think we still have space in the class. Let me check. So the intro to the Mac, that's fine. I have 2 more spots in here. This is Tuesday, Thursdays, 9 to 12:35. So on Thursdays, you will take this one in the morning and then you can take this one. And so it might be a lot, but you can attend part of it. But then intro to Mac level 1, when this one finishes July 8th and July 10th, Mac level 1 starts. And this one is 100% file management. Thing is that I'm going to be teaching a lot about file management regarding the cloud in the intro anyway to prepare people to this one. So if you can take this one first, that might be better. So you're not
Okay.
completely at nothing, but it's okay if you can't make that one and you just sign up to this one. It's where's the CRN? Here it is, 80515.
80515.
And that's 9 a.m. to 12:35 starting July 10th. Tuesdays and Thursdays. But today, basically, I already had one Tuesday and one Thursday of this one, but
Yeah.
I think it would be really helpful for you if you took this one, that one, and this one, basically the whole 3. Because your computer needs some work, mister.
I know it does.
Needs some help.
I know it does.
All right.
In the
So,
fall, do you know what you're teaching?
I'm teaching all 3 again in the fall, but I mean, I think the schedule is already there.
Okay, I'll
see.
take a.
Fall, non-credit, select. And let me head over here to my name, Osakio. Search. Intro to the Mac, Mac level 1, Mac level 2. They're going to be in person. They're going to be HyFlex, so both in person and online. And it's Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 to 4:15, all of them. Because they follow,
Problem.
start with the first one, then I do the next one, the next one. So they all, it's basically the whole semester. You start with the first one and you keep
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
Monday, Wednesday at the same time. So if this
Okay.
works better for you, you have that schedule.
Probably not. I'm going to see what I can do, work in one of the classes this summer
Okay.
and at least get started. Okay.
Yeah, because they're not levels, they're different subject matters, like file management
Okay.
is the one. So if you can work that one in, if you can work the other one in another time or the other one, they do in a way build upon each other, but on the other hand, they don't. They
So
really
if
are.
I'm only doing one, the file
Third,
management.
Mac level 2 is all the apps. Mac level intro to the Mac is we're handling all the system settings and permissions, kind of what we went into and helped you today with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. And then the file management one would be,
is Mac level 1.
is no, Mac level 1. Okay.
Mac level 1. And did you write down? I think it was 805.
80515. Yeah.
15, yeah, that's the
Okay.
one.
See what I can do with that. Thank you so much.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
weekend. Get some rest.
I
Just the
will.
West Coast time. One question, you have
Yeah.
a grandchild?
No, my
No.
kids are
You
still
godchild?
my oldest child just graduated from Berkeley and my youngest one just graduated from
goodness.
high school.
Oh
So
my goodness. I
my
thought I
kids
heard
are still-
grandchild. I went,
No,
oh
no,
my
no.
God. Okay.
My kids are no, they're young. I
I
hope
know,
I
I
don't
know
have any
they're young.
grandkids
I
out there.
went.
I hope I don't have any grandkids out there. I don't think so. They're both still really nerdy and don't have girlfriends, so I don't think so.
I'm sure they're doing great. Thanks. I
Take
appreciate it.
care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.